welcome back to Stories to D4. I'm so excited that after not the longest break that we get to continue our adventures in Eltz. As always, I'm Matthew, your dungeon master for the evening, and I'm really excited to once again welcome my dear friends and insane player characters. Hey everybody, how have you been? We got a couple announcements before the session.
I'm great. It feels like it was a very long week, even though it was minus 1 day.
Well,
Feel like a long week.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's been a pretty long week, but we've had some pretty big releases lately. And you mentioned, it's been a long week. I want to actually thank you for doing a great job editing our Battlesphere one-shot. Now, if you haven't heard of this, the Battlesphere one-shot was a huge subscriber reward we did, thanks to the support of all you wonderful folks here in Twitch or over on our Patreon. The Battlesphere was a high-level arena-style combat, and it's available right now on Twitch through our VODs, as well as if you have a bit of patience, as of tomorrow, we're gonna have it also on our YouTubes. If you want to see a couple of these goobers and a special guest play high-level Dungeons and Dragons against some pretty powerful orcish foes, well, you'll have to check us out on YouTube.
I'll warn you now, there's some bad puns.
There are some bad puns because we invited Jake.
Yeah,
It was fault, not mine.
I have never made a pun in my entire life.
There is some excellent
'cause you invited him.
performance going on. There is some talented musical numbers by the player characters.
Yes.
Yes.
All I'll say is I would love to play both that character again or that class again.
Oh yeah.
And how about in that setting again?
Absolutely. I would love to go back to the Battlesphere.
We'll have to talk about it, and maybe in the future we'll have another visit there. Like I said before, the Battlesphere one-shot was a reward we did for reaching certain subscriber goals here on Twitch. And talking about subscribers, I do want to let everyone know that, hey, thank you all. All of your support here goes right back into our stream to get new miniatures, to get equipment that allows us to record. And if you have Amazon Prime, you're able to actually subscribe on Twitch for free doing what's called a Prime sub. Everyone who's got Amazon Prime gets one of these for free, but it doesn't automatically renew. So if you have Amazon Prime and want to support us for free, go ahead and click that subscribe button over on Twitch. We've had a long adventure, guys. We're getting close to the end of this first big story. You got one of your main villains. You're hot on the trail. Before we talk too much about the campaign, let's finish up here by talking about those subscriber reward for this month. A dear friend of the channel and previous guest, Jen, actually won our drawing this month, and as such is actually getting their character, Issa Galehelm, from our Night Among the Stars one-shot, an upgraded version as an NPC, maybe one we might even see in the future on Stories to D4. Now, we're going to be posting both Issa Galehelm and our previous subscriber reward, Trebor, over on our Discord. Do you mind telling us a little bit more about that, Victoria?
All right, so we have a Discord free available to anybody to join in the...
I don't have to pay any money?
No, you don't
Wow,
have to pay any money.
That's awesome.
In the description of both the YouTube videos and in the About section on our Twitch, you can see that there's a little link to join. Should be active forever. Just click that link, come hop in. If you are a subscriber, though, and you have linked your subscription account through Twitch to your Discord account, there's a way inside of Discord that you can do that. You can say, hey, this is my Twitch. It'll actually give you access to our peek behind the scenes channel, our Storytellers Lounge, that has, maybe extra pictures of this room or some miniatures ahead
Painting
of time.
progress pictures.
Painting progress, maybe a few stat blocks every once in a while. Just a couple of different...
Maybe.
I feel like there may be one.
You're telling all the secrets.
I mean, how else would you entice somebody to go and not only just subscribe, but link their Discord
There
to their
will...
Twitch?
We should just... Now, I will say our Discord channel does come with a warning. There will be puns, and most of them will be from Jake.
Right?
One or
Lots of
two a
beats.
day is not bad.
A day?
A day?
It's a problem.
It's either you don't know that you're doing it as much as you are. That's the real issue here.
Yeah.
Oh,
We need an intervention, but not tonight.
Well,
We do have some dice to roll.
our intervention is going to have to wait because tonight we have another huge session over our Eltz campaign. And also this Sunday, we're going to be having footnotes with our dear friend Connor. Connor, we've got a lot to talk about because it's been a little while since we've had a footnote. So we're going to talk about the Battlesphere. We're going to be talking about this art going on and a special creature that we met last time. We'll bring up a picture of him just at the end of our recap here in just a moment. Now, Connor, you normally track our critical hits and our critical failures. Why don't you give us a quick critical recap for last week? How we doing?
Yeah, last week, everyone rolled a natural 20 at least once,
Okay.
except for Jake.
Hey, even better.
Ismini rolled the most. She rolled 3.
Nice.
And
It's
there
not
was only
weighted.
one natural 1, a nat 1 roll, and it was Elle.
It wasn't.
You love to see it. Absolutely. Alex, go ahead and turn Connor up.
They
just
can't
a
all
little
be
bit more over
winners.
there.
I will be the only one who actually rolls a 0 on this stream, probably.
I can.
But I didn't roll any.
I can as well.
Yeah, we us
Oh.
Negative
we-
modifier
We
squad?
do have.
Do you have a
negative-
-2 to that?
No, just mine. Just
Have a
mine.
-2.
Oh my god.
We aren't there. We're just a little bit.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not
yet.
yet, yeah.
I like the way you think.
Take the devil's bargain, drop one's ability score to raise another. I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
All right.
I got a few more
Wisdom.
intelligence points I can drop.
You ready to talk about last week before jumping into the session?
I'm ready.
One
Let's
last thing.
Oh, yes, Clella.
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah, we hit 350 followers on Twitter, which
Huge
is great.
numbers.
If you aren't already following us, check us out there. Same username.
Is that
Stories
also
and
free?
D4. It is also free. Twitter is a public platform. If you don't have a Twitter, good for you.
Yeah. First of all,
Fair.
respect.
But if you're going to get one, consider following us.
Yeah.
Follow your,
We can
local
suffer
coffee-
together.
Yeah, follow your coffee shop and us.
And your dreams.
And your,
And your dreams,
See, there
but
we
not on
go.
Twitter.
Not on Twitter.
Your dreams come from Twitter.
They're not there. Don't go looking.
All right, thank you, and thank you all for following us here on social medias and all of your other kinds of support. We really do appreciate it. Now, let's talk about what happened last time on the Eltz campaign of Stories to D4. When last we met, our heroes were in the midst of a heist at the Sunshower Gala of High Lord Stanley Branson. Gwynwyn and Alilier snuck upstairs facing off against a pair of drow, seemingly more servants of their rival Zerathal. One of these drow, a man named Ketrith, was apparently being controlled, compelled to face off against the party by a magical collar. Once they freed this elf, they were able to fight off his companion, leaving her, well, potentially to be captured by the guards of Eltz. Laurentius, confronted by a massive enchanted boiler, faced off bravely before he ran away, escaping from its metallic clutches. This boiler had been heating up the vault upstairs, which Elle and our dear friend Gwynwyn were trying to break into in order to claim the velvet vulpine that would lead them to Zerathal. Ismini, after winning quite a bit of gold at the hands of several of the High Lords of Eltz, actually watched the Lionheart appear and face off against a mad warrior known as Tiburon the Watcher. As the conflict rose and steam began pouring into the Great Hall, nobles panicked, everyone trying to escape and evacuate the home. Ismini and Silas eventually fell down into the lower levels, one on purpose, one accidentally, and faced off against the boiler, eventually damaging it enough to allow for, well, a bit of respite for the party and for the actual vault to be accessed upstairs. Using a bit of creative magic, Gwynwyn and Alilier were able to get into the vault and begin madly scooping all sorts of gold bars, different ingots of rare metals, gems, and even several magical items into a large bag that they could zipline out to their friends, the vigilantes, outside. The party eventually made their way out of the Branson Manor through a combination of deception and stealth. I have to admit, I was very surprised at your ability to subtly escape a plan. Good job, everyone. However, during the events of the heist, one of our party members, Silas, was quite injured as he had been struck by a cannon in defense of a cruel noble by the name of Noah O'Brien. Due to this injury and the massive wound slowly growing on his shoulder, the party spent several days resting and preparing to use the Velvet Vulpine, a magical statuette, in order to seek out Zerathal and once and for all eliminate him from Eltz, remove the grave necromantic threat. During this downtime, we had one new being make an appearance as an explosion rocked the warehouse, firing small bits of shrapnel in all directions, puncturing the roof that Silas has so delicately been maintaining with these bullet-like shards of eggshell. As a small orange-brown creature made its first appearance, locking eyes with Ismini Callister, and beginning to form a bit of attachment or resentment to various members of the party. Before we jump into our session, I do want to show the artwork that we revealed last time here of this tiny creature, the little hatchling. This artwork is courtesy of our dear friend, the Runesmith, and the folks over at Ghostfire Gaming. Now, in the book, Stibble's Codex of Companions, this is used to represent a creature known as the Ecutaris, but the story of this little fellow might be a bit different than it's listed in that ledger. With that, let's begin our session here, relatively early in the morning, within the warehouse of the Defiant Smiles.
Gwynwyn is currently gathering all the fragments of the shell she can find. Just because she's like, I wonder what kind of potions I can make out of this.
All right, so I would like you to go ahead and give me, this would be, so first things first. As you're looking for these various pieces, there's a couple parts involved. I'm going to give you a two-stage process.
Okay.
The first is that this eggshell exploded in a somewhat random, the egg exploded in a somewhat random way. So the eggshells that fired upwards and went through the roof, without a pretty high intelligence check, they could be hard to track down. So go ahead and start me off with this int check. Gwen, when you're resting on a stool in the lower levels of the warehouse.
A 7.
A 7? Thinking about it, now your character's quite smart, but this is doing advanced trigonometry, calculating different routes. It's very difficult to think. Once it got out of the house, you could keep an eye out, but it's difficult. But in the actual section of Ismini's room, during the times that Ismini, if and when Ismini allows you in there, you are able to extract some portion of them. But I have to ask, these have been embedded quite deeply within the stone floor. I would like you to explain to me how you'd like to begin extracting these things.
Oh, I'm going to call Silas over.
Are you tearing? So, you're sitting here within the very plain room that you occupy near the back side of the warehouse. The only small window on the rear side, looking out into the Tincto Bay, the small dock that you recently had assembled, is resting there.
I'm assessing the stones, and if now is as good a time as any for me to just start digging my basement.
Okay. Now this would
But
technically...
I'm letting them come in and do whatever.
Now this would technically be a stone masonry check
No, wrong character.
for what you're trying to do. Are you proficient in stone masonry
am.
tools?
And
What
we're
a
now
switch.
6 levels, so I get double the proficiency in
You
my
have,
tool.
yes, you mechanically have expertise in tools that you are proficient with. So for this one, because of the nature, this would be a dexterity stonemason check.
23.
With a 23, so taking a bit of time, as you and Silas working together with some of the tools that you were using, actually, that you already had on hand for you to actually begin repairing the warehouse. The warehouse is very solid condition, despite my jokes about the explosion before. These are mostly very thin holes that have been poked into the walls. So you went up there a bit of, with just a bit of this this paste-like substance you use to repair small little patches, sort of like spackle. It's actually made more with a fine sand, this material. And you were able to very quickly seal those up. You took an afternoon, not even, to clear up the warehouse.
Thanks for helping.
But looking around for these fragments, you are able to find both a good number of them. You have a small collection of these fragments that are embedded in the ground, but you start finding them. The first one you find is about 6, maybe 8 inches beneath the surface of the stone floor. At which point you find a couple more pieces, and about a foot deep, you find the end of this foot and a half is the end of the actual stone. And by the point you hit clay, they're deep. So you do have a collection of these as you begin removing a portion of the flooring here, doing a very solid job. So there's actually, if you'd like to have constructed a trap door or had some sort of similar scaffolding sort of structure that protects, that keeps the room usable during this process.
I'll make a trap for us, that way you can start also using this as a basement.
Put one of our mini rugs over it.
I just put a rug, is what I was going to say.
But yes, so keeping
And
it.
spikes underneath the
It's yes. Start putting traps in your wizard's lair.
rug. Literally just my bedroom. Every day when I wake up, I have to go around it.
You know, I gotta ask, why is there only one chair in here?
I am
Don't
one.
ask a lady that.
I'm more confused by what you said, Gwyneth, than the original question.
Never mind.
Now I'm not sure how to answer.
Sorry.
I'm one person. I only need one chair.
I have nothing to say.
So taking a bit of time. This is all happening we're kind of talking retroactively
Yeah.
during some of what you did during this. You were able to do a bit of study, improve your ability to infuse various forms of magics into the items you
did.
carry with you. And what you can mark down is now these fragments, they are not, as you interact with them, they are very durable. They're not brittle like you'd expect from an egg. And unless you tell me you're trying to actively break them, casual handling of them does not seem to have any effect on the surface.
Okay.
These fragments mostly splintered off with a sort of the cleavage of the material made here makes more long, thin shards. Most of them you could fit inside a singular tall goblet or glass. Sorry, glass, not goblet. So they're mostly 4 to 6 inches long, and you can fit them in a singular cup. So it's not a lot of pieces, but these thin shards potentially have use as a crafting material or as an alchemical component. But you have an idea that if you want to use them for alchemy, you'd need to find a way to grind them down. You tell me if you ever decide to try to do that.
Yeah, I'll be tempted to do that later.
Do you think they're fireproof?
You know, I don't know. I need
You could
more
test one.
experiments.
You know,
You could
that's-
light it on fire.
That's an excellent question, because as you're kind of here doing, chatting about these eggshells and such, the creature's been around for several days, but mostly has spent time with is Meanie, kind of nestled within her room or literally being held. This small creature, again, light orange, small-scaled body on the underside, a short little tail, and the upper side has a larger, darker carapace. 2 little horns, big yellow eyes that with little pupils that follow you as you walk around. The creature right now is currently bothering Yosef. As Yosef is kind of working, you see him. He's got this long wooden spoon and is stirring something in a pot that's been hoisted over one of the fires in the small fireplace in the impromptu kitchen the makeshift kitchen you've set up. You just hear Yosef? All right, would you? You're hitting the pan. And as he's kind of stirring this food in a dish, the orange creature is currently sitting inside of the fireplace, just kind of one of its paws touching this little cast iron piece of cooking equipment that as Yosef is cooking. It's been relatively comfortable with Yosef during its time here. His time here.
Oh.
It might be immune to fire.
I think it might be immune to fire, but more importantly, is that lasagna soup?
Lasagna.
Lasagna soup?
No,
Okay, we'll talk about this another time.
You said I
Fish tacos.
I had to get the noodles right, like they did in Jubilee. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, would you mind tasting it?
Of course, of course.
You walk over. Why don't you describe me what this lasagna soup is like that Yosef has been making?
A lasagna soup. Y'all are all like,
No, that sounds wrong.
you've had like a tortellini soup,
This is
right?
the opposite of a girl boss moment. I'd like to let you know.
And like this is like it's so I'm wilded out by y'all's reaction. A lasagna soup is just a tomato and vegetable based soup that has noodles and like cheese and vegetables in it.
So like a
But-
minestrone?
No,
Or a
but it
tortellini.
has like
Do you put like ricotta in it because then it would get all chunky, like in a bad
no,
way?
you don't put you. It's like a
What if
like
you
a traditional
add
Italian,
lasagna?
but like actual Italian lasagna.
Wow. I will say, Victoria, you're gonna start a holy war if you debate what makes something a lasagna.
I'm
However,
sorry.
you should put ricotta. If you like ricotta, put ricotta.
Oh, I'm all in favor. I'm just saying the soup. Would be a lasagna soup.
I'm
Although
sorry
I'm gonna
for being
I'm gonna bother people by
uneducated.
the way I say ricotta. So
But yeah, we just discussed our pronunciation of Italian food the entire time.
But-
No, I've never heard of this in my life.
But so
It's not just me. I swear I didn't make it up. I've had it
know
like
what?
once in my life.
I'm gonna ask actually. So Yosef is relatively good at following instructions. I want to have you make just a raw intelligence check, a flat intelligence check, to see how well you recited a recipe to him about this particular thing.
16.
16. This is relatively good. I'm not saying it's cooked with your mother's love or anything, but this is It's pretty solid, and he remembered to actually season his food. No, the blue die.
Amazing.
But it's pretty solid. The little creature leaps out as if trying to surprise you before scurrying over and leaping up onto Ismini's lap.
Is he really hot?
No.
No.
Does he want lasagna soup?
He'll eat the spoon too.
You can't drink out of the spoon. You have to do the spoon into another spoon, so that way you don't contaminate the pot.
Just go. I'll go find a bowl.
As you go find one of the small wooden bowls to pick up
never
from the
mind.
local
I'm
bazaar,
gonna cast Prestidigitation and make a little bowl.
you cast it not using your magical item, I'm assuming.
I only have the magical item version.
Oh, that's right.
I can-
So, casting Prestidigitation, you create this small wooden bowl, filling it up with lasagna soup, and the creature
You will all pay.
looks up at you. Just kind of, there's a moment where it's just like looking at you. Are you also eating this food?
I will try a bite of it.
Okay. As you try a little bit, it leans its big orange head down and eats the bowl and the food, swallowing it. You know you're able to activate the spell and get your item back.
Right.
Ah.
I may have already. Okay. I will unmagic my magic item and get my chain back.
All right, so you
Outside of my baby animal.
you dismiss. It's your child. There's no grossness. It's fine. As you dismiss,
I've already broken the rules.
you dismiss the effect, leaning over to the side of the table, kind of pushing over one of the goblets here and pulling the chain back out. It's got a habit of just hiding around nearby.
It does that.
Lasagna soup. It's not weird.
I
It's
mean,
not
he
really
liked
sneaky, though. It's just out in the open, but it thinks it's hidden.
it. No, I mean,
What did you
watch.
do?
It's not very smart. It's very smart.
Watch. I'm gonna make a little. I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation and make like a little wooden
Natural
ball.
one. It fully comes over and headbutts you in the shin. It hurts, but it doesn't do any damage.
Push it away.
It like growl hisses at you and then scurries, fully just climbs up and is sitting about 10 feet up on the wall on the side. It's little paw prints, little claw marks where it stabs into the wood on the side.
That's concerning.
Okay. Okay. No.
How is that
This is what I was talking about being hidden, though. I'm gonna Prestidigitate a little wooden doll. See? I have this. It was a chain. Now it is a doll.
Okay.
Are we gonna feed it
I'm going
to
to dismiss the doll and open my hands back up.
So as is
How did she do that?
She's a wizard.
You also can do magic.
I don't get it.
She has magic.
I thought you had that spell too.
Ismini creates this
I do.
beautiful
I don't know how
little,
it works. I just do it.
Ismini creates this beautiful little doll. It's got this really cute wide hat, cute little summer dress. It looks like it's maybe it looks like it's a hand carved wooden doll. Closes her hands. Not even no fanfare, no poof of smoke. It's gone. Now what do you do next?
Are you wearing sleeves right now? Do you have sleeves?
I do have sleeves on.
That's how
I'm
she
gonna
did it.
shake. I'm gonna shake
I
one
get it
out.
now.
I'm gonna shake one out, shake the other one out, and then just reach my hand back,
I know
flip
how
my hair a
strings
little
work.
bit, and the chain falls from inside of the.
You watch as it falls out of her hair.
Yeah,
Told
it's
you.
like
Called it.
You should do the coin thing.
it's not a magic trick.
Do you want to
Like
do the coin thing again?
like reach behind Thorn's ear and
Yeah.
push it into a coin.
Wait.
No, I'm see here. Look, I'm gonna make a little thorn doll.
I knew she made
Now
it.
here's the thing: when you cast Prestidigitation, I believe that's a verbal component.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
able to
thinking.
see her, Azarath Metronon Zinthos behind your ear.
I've seen magicians. Abracadabra.
Now-
I get it.
I'm not a magician.
No, this is what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna make a little thorn doll. I'm gonna close my hands. Now, will you reach behind your ear?
There is now a small chain in your hand, Laurentius.
Eat it.
Please don't eat it.
I would not recommend eating that.
Headbutting the shin some more.
You're sure that she's not a witch?
She's a wizard. They're similar but different.
They are different.
Wizards are smarter.
I mean, I'm doubting that right now.
All right.
Since when can you do that? silently?
It's the chain. It's not me. It's the item.
Yes, and so mechanically, just so everyone is aware,
It was from the hunt.
this is one of the rewards you received from Whitaker, the servant, who's one of he's a servant of one of the Eltzian lords, and he's over here. He's been hiring you a couple times to do some. He's hired you, I believe, twice here, do some minor missions, or at least interact with you a few times. This piece of jewelry allows you to cast Prestidigitation, but when you dismiss the Prestidigitation, which is permanent until you choose to dismiss it, the item appears somewhere nearby, hit in a convenient hidden place.
Yeah.
Speaking of items, can I borrow your ring for a real quick second?
The Signet Ring?
Yeah.
Signet Ring of Summer. As long as
Okay.
I get it back and it's not got holes in it.
Yeah, just for a second.
Careful, it'll probably turn into like a chain
Thank
or
you.
something.
All right, so this, as you look at this ring, now you see the sigil itself is familiar. It appears to be a tree, but you see that the material it's made of is this. What color ring is? What metal is this? What metal is your signet ring?
Oh
made
yeah,
of?
it's like a yellow gold.
Yeah, it's just-
like
it's very-
fully like matching all the other ornamentation I've got.
You notice that near the top of the tree, one of the branches itself, however, has just a small. It looks like silver on first glance, a small platinum branch. One of them has been accentuated in this signet ring.
I'm going to whisper 2 words in Dwarvish and hand it right back to you.
What did you
What
say?
were the words?
I said spell refueling. I have now turned that into a magic item.
I'm gonna spend an hour with this ring.
All right, so attuning to this magic infusion. All right, now let's talk a little bit about infusions. I think it's good.
thank
because
you.
You've got some new
Yeah.
ones, and I don't think we've gone in depth before.
We have not. Huh? Yeah, sorry.
So infusions are an ability of your artificer. Now you don't have to tell us all of them now if you want to keep some of them a little bit of a surprise. But what are
What a
you?
surprise.
What infusions are you using today?
So I've always had my stirring rod. That's why I have an extra +1 to hit. Also, I ignore partial cover because of that.
Enhanced
One of my-
arcane focus.
Yes. So I've had that since we were level 3.
So good.
So good. Today is going to be Ismini's ring. It's gonna.
Okay.
It gives her an extra spell slot up to 3rd level, once per long rest. Yeah,
that's all
basically
it
a pearl
does?
power.
I
but-
believe it's an action to refuel.
Yes.
Yes.
Right? That's so good.
Yeah,
Absurdly
I
good.
just put down because I know sometimes you're gonna want to get the infusion back, so I've just written down Pearl of Power Infusion Ring.
Yeah.
So
Great.
that we've got a note of it.
So your spell for refueling ring. And what other infusion would you like to use today,
I'm
Amanda?
gonna bring. I have a journal for this, but it's our bag of holding. So that way, if we find anything we need, or if we have anything, we now have a bag of holding.
I like
You
it.
don't have to leave books behind
The bag
ever
itself
again.
is relatively heavy. It has an innate weight. I believe it's 15 pounds.
15 pounds.
And so you get to describe what this looks like on you. It's a decent sized bag wherever you have it.
It's a messenger bag.
You want to have it like a little messenger bag? Do you want a cute face
Does
like
it have
the?
a face?
Yes, it has a cute little. button.
Excellent.
The
Yeah,
face up.
that's a
I-
prop.
I
I understand.
yeah.
We're gonna say something really quick. Thank you so much, Victoria's mother.
Thank you.
So fantastic. So you have a bag of holding, which you have some interdimensional space that you can store items in.
Yep.
Be very careful how you use it. You have
Yeah.
this spell refueling ring, and you have your enhanced arcane focus. I love it. So, as a quick reminder of where we were, you had talked to the vigilantes about if you wanted their help for this, how you were going to leave a lantern out during the evening, and they would arrive the following morning. So now I have to ask: did you do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
No hesitation.
Maybe they can also figure out what Ralnor is.
Yeah.
Ralnor.
Is that his name?
Yeah. He
Can
needs a name.
Can I make a cute little thing at the smithy for like a name
Like a little,
tag?
like a little tag.
Yes, I was born for this.
Would you like to be, Yosef over here, a little confused. Oh, I'm sorry. What is Ralnor?
Great question. We still don't know.
I mean, he's a nice little pup, but I don't really understand exactly what his.
Pretty sure he's a turtle.
No,
It's got the shell.
Turtle's got them shells. You gotta shuck them before you put them in a stew.
No,
He-
but he's
he-
got
Please
a
do
shell.
not shuck him.
Have you ever seen
I didn't-
a baby turtle?
He's not a turtle.
Okay, then a snail.
But if we had a pet turtle, you wouldn't.
Oh no, I caught him in one of the barrels of salt the other day. Not one of those either.
Dinosaur.
I cast identify on this thing just to see if it pings with any magic.
So spending the time kind of looking at this, make me an Arcana check. Actually, I'll even give you advantage on this. This doesn't cost you a spell slot. I'm taking some time over here to really focus in on the, like, magically focus on this
21.
creature. The 21. This appears with what, and you're aware this isn't fully how the spell, this is not how the spell works entirely, but as you're focusing in, this is a young adult dwarf. You sense the hint of magic coming from it. And after a few moments, you realize you have identified yourself.
Fun. Very fun.
But because of that Arcana check, what I'll say is, it appears that you're having a difficult time using magic on it. It's not impossible. And in this
really
one, you're able to tell very briefly. What I can tell you is this. It is a tiny creature. It does fit in your arms.
Yeah.
His name's Ralnor.
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 Yeah.
Okay. He's large. His head is a little bit oversized because he's still definitely a young of whatever he is. But his head is large enough to fit Squawk inside, and you've had to save Squawk several times as he's attempted to swallow Squawk, the raven.
Yes. But he's doing really well with Yosef, so...
Oh, I've been giving him bits of jerky. Silas taught me.
Pocket jerky.
That's
yeah.
how you make friends.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my gosh. It kills me every time.
But Yosef, now, so Yosef's been just kind of relaxing, working around the apartment. Wow, the warehouse. Yeah, so working around the warehouse, he's helped with the repairs a little bit where he could. You guys send him on errands all the time, and he's still very happy working with you. His wages, we've discussed them in the past, get deducted just a little bit from that party wealth every once in a while. But you have him here. You all have in this morning. You've most done your preparations. Were there any things that you forgot that you wanted forgot last time that you needed to purchase or procure? As that heist I planned for this is not in effect as a generalized rule.
Man, that was a fun thing to have, though.
Can you remind me how much it costs to get something like ball bearings?
Ball bearings, I could pull up the exact price. It's in the PHB. I think they're less than a gold piece. They're very cheap.
Can we
Then
make
I'll
more
go get some if you don't
spicy
mind.
and...
Pull up the price, deduct it, you're fine.
Do we have time to make more spicy and what was the
Get
other
the
one?
other one.
Spicy.
You know, it would be
Sour?
bad if you were...
Acid
Sour
and
balls.
fire.
Yeah, the acid
Spicy
fire
and
one.
sour.
So
Sweet and
here
sour.
what we'll have you do is
We already
I'll-
have the casings. They just need to be refilled.
okay.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm gonna have you make an Alchemist Tools check.
And people who have them still have them, right?
Yes, they should not have been removed or anything like that. I also
27.
27.
Okay.
You can make 3 of them of whatever combination you'd like. This is going to still require the equivalent cost, so whichever ones you make, reduce it by the cost of Alchemist Fire or Acid Flask, respectively. But we can worry about the numbers a little bit later as long as you write them down.
Let me know if you need money for it.
I have money for it.
Great.
Do you want 2 fires and acid?
Are
I'll
you?
put them in the bag of holding.
Do you have some?
Yeah, I have 3 acid and 2 fire.
You have some?
Yeah, I should have an equivalent amount. I have 3 fire, 2 acid.
I suggest that we give any extras we make.
Bag of holding?
I think some should go in the bag of holding. I think we should also give at least 1 to Adan.
Are we bringing it on with us?
He's only got 1 arm, though.
Do you want to call it on?
I thought we were. Are we?
You
bringing
absolutely
Adan?
can.
We
You
can.
know where he is. He's not currently on a job.
We could make it be all the smiles going.
Adan doesn't know the vigilantes, though.
So you can't say anybody's
That
real
might-
name.
You don't look at Chester and say, Chester, my longest and most dearest friend besides Silas.
I don't know his other names. It's just Chester.
Arcus?
Arcus.
Arcus.
Oh, yeah, that's his name.
Stella's.
Charkus.
I like that. I hope. No, Amanda, I have to ask. Was that Amanda or was that Gwynwyn?
That was Gwynwyn.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, what is his name? This is just Chester.
All right. But it's entirely up to you. I have miniature drawers right over there if you need it.
I mean, it might be fun to have all the smiles go and take down the big bad because that would be really good for all the smiles to have gone and done.
You are allowed to, if you want to talk to the vigilantes, if you want to have them covering an escape, or if you want to have them making sure that none of your enemies escape whenever you locate the place.
We'll talk to them first and then loop Adan in and see if he's interested. So that way they don't have to worry about them meeting.
I think that sounds
and
like a great
Adan being like,
You know, Adan is pretty much if you pay, he'll be happy to do
Yeah.
whatever.
I think it would be great to have the vigilantes just kind of covering the exit, so that sounds
Yeah.
like a good idea.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe doing the downstairs rescuing while we move up.
I think we need to do that. I think there's not gonna be enough people. I think we're gonna need bodies for that too, though.
Okay. Well, it'll be the party's decision. If you'd like, we can jump ahead to when the vigilantes come and knock in on that. You put a small trapdoor on this on the roof just for when this happens.
Just have a rug over it.
No one's.
There it is.
It's a trap door. It's just a rug.
Just says welcome.
That's the first trap door we saw had a rug
So,
over it.
you guys hear the familiar sounds of footsteps on your roof before.
Good dog.
Good dog. Dog didn't bark.
Well, actually not.
But the moments later, as Gwynwyn or Silas opens this up, you see the still obscured face of Chester Piffle, otherwise known as Arcus, and his two vigilante companions as they begin descending and entering your home.
Hey, Arcus, catch. I just throw some jerky at you. See what happens. Anything?
Why, big guy?
You're gonna
where
need
is
that
he?
for the cute little
Where is he?
lizard thing that runs around here.
Using the term cute loosely.
He's adorable.
He's adorable.
As the
We've taken in
trio-
worse strays.
As the trio is guided down, climbing the ladder from the roof and the ladder from the
Sorry.
ladder from the awning down to the lowest level. Eventually, you watch as the Lionheart, Bastellus, and Arcus finally see the small creature known as Ralnor. The little orange guy goes and scooches his butt up up right next to Ismini's legs, looking up at this trio of armed individuals.
I just pat him a little bit.
And Chester looks down, looks up. What in the hells is that?
No idea.
Jerky time.
Do you know?
No.
Throw the jerky.
Jerky time.
Does anybody know?
Before it bites you.
Bastellus takes the jerky and just throws it to the little creature. Creature hops a couple feet off the ground, catches it.
Yeah, he can
She's eating.
throw it at the wall, see what happens.
Let's not damage the wall.
No.
The jerky.
The Lionheart, I would love to try this, please.
Just some jerky.
Did prepare.
Throws the jerky pretty high up. You watch as the creature scurries up. The jerky sticks to the wall. It's a little
sticky.
It's not been full, the curing process isn't done.
It doesn't seem to matter what he eats.
It
Teriyaki
climbs up,
jerky.
fully takes a small chomp out of the wall, and then climbs back down. Little footprints, claw marks, if you will, all the way up and down.
I'll have to
And
fix
it
that.
appears that the
Adorable.
creature has a climb speed.
I'll have to fix that.
You did notice, however, in the larder, which has one of the walls is metal, it does not appear that he climbs well on a smooth metal surface.
Right, we need
Because he's not piercing perfectly through it. He's sinking his claws into stone and wood.
like things that have an amount of
Dunk,
give.
dunk, dunk, dunk.
Okay.
Exactly.
So yeah, we don't know what he is, but we know he's cute.
He really
Yeah.
likes his meanie.
He likes
Well-
meat.
I can't say that my band of vigilantes has a mascot, but maybe it'll work better for the Smiles.
Yeah, I mean he's really adorable, and nothing ever would possibly go wrong with having a cute mascot.
Especially when we don't know what it is. I mean,
Right.
what could
I
go
mean,
wrong?
we've still
What could possibly go wrong?
we've
Knocked
never
on wood. Very
Yeah,
hard.
really hard.
The party goes wrong.
So yeah, we don't know what he is, but he's adorable. But that's not really why we put the candle out.
No, I believe you still have the statuette.
Yes.
We did not sell it.
So pulling out, it's again this small. You can tell it's probably made of stone. Maybe some of it might have gems, but they might have some gems in it as well. But it's mostly this small fox statuette of it. Its tail wrapped around the bottom of its legs and covered in blue velvet. It's not super heavy. This magical artifact, in some way can help you find Zerathal. Well, I suppose before you activate it, we should decide what the plan is.
There's one other person we want to loop in, but we didn't want to have that awkward. We should introduce you to a person who doesn't know that you're working with us in case it's a problem for you guys to have more people know about.
The Lionheart turns and looks at Chester for a little bit, and Chester just really starts thinking about it. There's the concern of how many people we bring with us. We have no idea where we're going, and so that's a difficulty. I don't fully understand how this thing works, but if the way that the Lionheart has explained it to me, we'll be following it.
Yeah.
And so we can't really plan ahead necessarily as to what kind of place we're going to.
It's Adan from the last member of the Smiles that isn't here.
We're not going to be too great at traveling through the streets. We could attempt to follow stealthily, but and if we find an entrance, we could reconvene. But
How
as it was decided before, you'll be in charge.
how far away can you talk in people's heads?
Yeah, I think it's a mile. But I can only do it for 4 minutes, like maintain a connection.
Chester's one of the best with that at the rooftop running they've been doing.
Wait, I also
So you could keep him relatively close.
How far range do the sending stones have?
You see Bastellus crosses his arm and a little smirk as he turns over to Lionheart. Yeah, it'd be real great if we had those, wouldn't it?
Uh-oh.
You watch as he taps his foot slowly. The Lionheart, you can't see his face, but you just watch as he kind of scratches the small bit of exposed neck he has on from behind, just kind of. Well, you see,
This will be good.
Nothing ever says
This will be good.
escaping from Tiburon was a little more difficult than I had imagined, and, well, though I kept most of my equipment, I am still in the process of refreshing certain assets in our armory.
Okay, then
Including the
Fair.
sending stones, I take it.
I have
Including the sending stones.
I have familiars. I can do my familiar business.
All right, so as you guys kind of begin negotiating this, I kind of want to pull
Yeah.
this out to avoid planning hell.
Right.
What do you want to do?
I think we have two problems. We have number one, vigilantes, and number two, Adan. What are we doing with column A and column B?
I feel like Adan wouldn't care, to be personal.
Because if you'd like, you can choose to have all these folks involved. That is an option for
I
you.
think all of us, we just go through the streets. We bring Adan with us, and we follow this small fox thing. And then when we get to where we need to go, that's when we pull in the vigilantes and have them staying out. At least 2 of them outside, guarding and making sure that no one escapes. And maybe one of them coming in with us to go help rescue prisoners.
Yeah, just tell Adan we have some friends that are watching our backs.
Okay, I can handle that.
Okay, great.
Sounds good.
Spending some time making some planning, get them letting you know, a little bit, making sure you have all your supplies and equipment ready.
I'm gonna stare at my spell sheet for 18 more hours, trying to make sure I prepare. The right
One of you
spells.
want to head out to actually inform Adan to then come here and make the final
Yeah,
plans?
Gwynwyn will.
I'll go fetch Point Break.
Gwynwyn and Laurentius take we don't get you guys paired up very much. Take a little bit of time and head out to the Defiant Smiles headquarters. You see Adan is resting there. He's kind of just watching over things, kind of waiting. Hey,
Hey, are you busy, like, for the next couple days?
no,
You
we're
looking
kind
for
of we're having a bit of a dry spell when it comes to jobs.
Because we have a job for you.
Nice. Should I get my hammer?
Yes.
Yeah, you're gonna need it.
You're
Right.
gonna need
He
that.
hops down from the tall stool. Unlike his boss, you can see just the top of Adan's bald, tanned head as he walks behind the tall counter. You hear the clanking of turning of gears as he opens up that vault and removes his adamantium hammer, closing the vault behind him, adamantine, excuse me, and then walks around. All right, who am I bonking?
So we're dealing with a necromancer.
Yeah, you just want
Yeah.
to walk with us? We'll fill you in.
Yeah, as you guys begin heading over, now he knows about the necromancer. If you remember, he was in the structure over in Galavon where you first physically met him. So he's aware of some of the stuff that's been going on a little bit. Nothing that you guys considered a secret, but you've mentioned before that you're hunting an evil necromancer. As you kind of bring him back towards the warehouse with the rest of the party, letting him know about that you're going to be working with some masked folks and not to ask too much about him.
Yeah.
Now, it would be unwise for me to go along with this without first asking, do you trust these people?
I do.
They've been trustworthy so far.
Okay. Well, I trust you. It's just a bit odd for someone to, claim to be a hero but walk around covering their face. I don't know. not being willing to say who you are. Did you just put a mask on? I should clarify, like a vigilante mask,
Yeah.
not any other sorts.
No, I was thinking about our most
Scarlet
recent
Esmini.
video. Giant masks.
Well, they might have vulnerable family or something that could get hurt if anyone knows what they're doing.
Oh, I didn't mean to shame them. That wouldn't be cool of me. What I just mean to say it's a bit odd, and to be honest, most of what I've heard about those guys is that they've just been stealing a whole bunch. I mean, did you hear what happened at the Bransons?
Yeah.
Did. That sounded like a whole mess.
None of you guys ever told him about about this.
Oh,
as
We
far
were
as I know.
actually at that party. Zmini got an invitation.
Well, they were. I was at home.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! As you guys are walking into the warehouse, you guys were at the Branson Manor. Are you all okay?
Well, just
Yeah, Ismini played poker all night. She had a lot of fun until,
No
things started
way.
getting crazy.
Do you know Nine Lords Bluff?
Oh, hi. Yeah, and
He's not noticing the Lionheart yet. Goes, I will smoke you at that.
I cannot wait to see you lose.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk about it after the next job. He kind of looks over at the rest of the he's like ashy right now. I'll fix that in a second.
Yeah.
But he looks over at the vigilantes, a bit confused. They're kind of broody. You ever notice that?
They're so broody.
a little bit.
Bastella's standing in a shaded portion,
Especially that
having
one.
prestidigitated one of the torches off inside the warehouse.
I'll press digit data back on.
And we have we have friends. We have a little pet now, and
I hand him jerky.
I'm gonna make an animal handling check real quick.
Oh god.
You watch as
No.
Adan kneels really low, getting close to eye level with it. Hey, little guy.
No.
Hey, we're gonna be friends. All right?
Was he about to
The creature looks up at him. Looks over at Ismini. Ismini, how are you doing?
I'm laughing.
With that, he immediately just starts petting the top of this little creature's head. You just gotta know how to talk to someone.
Yeah.
Respect them, get on their level.
I'm not the one with the beef with Roundor.
Listen, he started it.
He
all right?
stands back up, headbutts you in the shin again.
Shit! See this?
He's like 3 days old. He can't start things.
I told him just
This
keep your
creature
distance and we're
is
good.
truly less
He
than a
keeps
week
bugging.
old.
He's a baby.
Like, I
It was
beef with this
born,
baby.
or it hatched crawling on wings.
Speaking of babies, there's a puppy here.
Oh, we got a little puppy.
Baby has escaped.
Yeah. She's left her bed.
Um,
Pile of pillows.
All right, but taking this time to do your little bit of planning.
Yeah, we're good now.
All
We
right.
know the plans go to kill.
Now, the Velvet Vulpine, this statuette of stillness, does not require attunement. I will let you know that the general idea you know of this is it has magics similar to that of the spell Find the Path. You're going to need to declare what you wish to, what you seek, and it will help find a path there for you.
Now we spend the next 30 minutes figuring exactly how to word it.
I say we just say Zerathal.
Do
We
we?
need a physical look.
It is you need
Yeah.
to name a place and not a person.
Zerathal's
Zerathal's
tower.
lair.
Layer's a good word.
Layer.
Look at you.
Zerathal's
Exactly
Oh,
where we
it's
need.
6.
I know words.
Have you been reading that thesaurus I gave you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a library over in the Twilight District.
I
You
use it
gotta
as
be
a
careful to-
coaster. Been using it really well.
So warm. Yes. All right. Are there any final preparations you'd like to make? I'm assuming mage armor before activating this magical construct.
Yeah, I'll cast. Oh wait, we don't know how long it's gonna take, do we?
Yeah, we
No.
don't.
No,
It's-
wait.
I'll tell you this: if it's minutes, I don't want it.
Okay, cool.
You probably don't even need an hour. Like you might need to wait a while.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
wait.
we'll
I
wait.
get-
We have a front door to get through first.
That's true.
I get to bring this, and I'm gonna go grab the hilt from my room.
All right, grabbing Martyr's Lament, this small magical construct. It's still a little duller than you can tell it used to be. It's not as resplendent as it may have been in its heyday.
I'm too nervous to bring it into the smith, to the lucky smith.
Okay, Finjan has not yet seen it. Taking this, and you actually are. Now, I will say, while you're walking through the city, if you're stowing this away into your backpack.
We got pockets.
The bag holding.
Now, so same thing with the back of holding. What I wanted to say is, if you're retrieving something that isn't on like a belt, it is going to be an action for retrieving that. So eventually when you have like 40 potions, you'd need to be sure. You can only carry some of those. Accessing the bag of holding is an action to do so. So just as a quick reminder, if it's on that sheet Amanda has, that is going to take a whole action to get out.
Can I stick it in my belt, like back here?
Yeah. Have it look like a dagger kind of sticking out. That's absolutely fine. Cool. You're able to even, you can cover it up. Carrying this sort of thing, absolutely, you can put it on your belt and cover with, you maybe untuck one of your shirts that you have under the jacket and kind of cover up most of your equipment here. Are you still bringing your normal weapon with you as well?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
Never go anywhere without at least 2 weapons. Did you give Adan a bomb?
I'll give him one of the fireballs.
We'll explain it to him. We made this, by the way. Like, we made this. If you throw it...
This is righteous!
Please bring back the metal shell, because it was so hard to make. I'm not yet proficient in blacksmithing. I'm working on it.
Adan attaches it to his belt and then just puts his hand on your shoulder. I'll do my best.
Hey, Adan, if you were to put that on the ground and use your hammer to hit it as hard as you could, how far do you think you could make it go?
It's not croquet.
I think we have something else to do first, but let's bring it up again after the job.
Right there with you.
I'm hoping that helps the sound,
Yes.
but I don't know if it's going to really.
Okay. We're fine.
It's the full plan, actually.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
with your plans in place, the vigilantes have left where you currently are. Chester, is going to be following along nearby, relatively close by, on the rooftops, trying to stay out of sight. But it is hard because right now it's pretty early in the day. Mm-hmm. As you step out in the courtyard, placing this blue velvet statuette on the ground, who would like to activate it by focusing on it intently for 1 minute?
I don't touch velvet. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, that's true.
I'll do
Focus
it.
on anything for 1 minute.
Okay. You gaze into the eyes of this little statuette, focusing. It's different than your normal spellcasting. Make me a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh. I'm glad it's not me.
A 5.
A 5. Over the course of the next minute, the sounds of the city, the sounds of children walking through the streets of the barrows with their mothers on the way to their market, the sound of the dock workers over to the northeast who are loading up their ships, it all fades away. You feel at peace. Someone kind of has to shake you to show that the statuette itself has begun to glow and grow slightly, its physical form disappearing as it becomes somewhat translucent as a small blue fox, as it moves, a light white after image shimmering around it. It looks up to you silently as if expecting something.
Zerathal's lair.
As you're here, with that same focus you had before, you picture Zerathal. You think of him. You have the very clear intent. You want to reach. You want to reach this lair. Perhaps there are prisoners. There's a villain with this clear and specific goal. It turns and begins sprinting through the streets of Eltz, glowing white beacon behind it.
I'm gonna send Squawk up to follow.
All right.
Question: how long can we dash continuously? Like, are we in danger of losing this?
No. So as it is running, it's running at its movement speed. If you're curious, is 30.
Oh.
So Gwynwyn might have a little bit of a hard time. We are going to be making a con save here in just a bit for you. But the biggest threat here is the potential for getting a little bit too tired. But you could take a little bit of a break at some point. As you're moving forward, once it gets about 100, maybe 120 feet ahead of you, it slows, stops, and turns back, facing towards Gwynwyn.
Oh. So we don't need to worry because it's gonna make sure Gwynwyn makes it. That was a good decision then, all around.
As you're moving through the barrows, people are absolutely baffled. There is this family kind of comes up to you, and you see the father, relatively young man. He's got these two little girls, kind of looking, pointing at tugging at the pants leg from their other father, pointing at the little blue creature. And the girls kind of look up to you, and you see the father leans over and kind of whispers at them. And these two little girls walk up. can we pet your little cat?
It's not actually real. It's magic. So your hand would probably go right through.
Yeah, also, this is guild business, and I'll pull out the Defiant Smiles badge and just say, sorry, but, we don't want you to get involved inadvertently. You can understand that, right?
The father immediately, I'm so sorry. They get very excited.
It's fine.
Of course. You have this it is a bronze pin of the Defiant Smiles with that reddish jasper gem in it. Telling them to be on their way. You all continue as it begins rushing further through the streets, passing through Pyrewood Row. As you make your way past a familiar sight, the daring duelist, you can see the remnants of last night's battle, where one of the hill giants who often fights there actually broke through the easternmost wall as he was tossed by means of some sort of telekinetic magic, and so. Big hole currently in the process of being repaired.
This was the Daring Duelist?
This is the Daring Duelist, yes. As you continue on your way up, as your way further north, passing through the West End, up now in the Westgate District, I'm going to ask everyone real quick to make me a Constitution saving throw.
I'm a wizard.
Is this for concentrating on a spell?
It's not for concentrating on a spell, weirdly enough.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Go right around the table for me. Laurentius.
24.
Good. Silas.
17.
Pass. Quinlan.
22.
Pass.
8.
Pass.
17.
Pass.
8? Yay, I'm not exhausted.
You've been running for about 15-20 minutes. DC 5 con save. Just checking in. How are you getting winded? Do you have to stop? It's not necessarily massive
I'm willing
punishment
to get winded since squawk ahead and let him tell me where to go.
As you begin proceeding even further north, heading up through the city. Because you went through the Westgate, we're not going to hit like Little Berbeta, but we eventually get to an area that I don't believe the party has explored very much, especially not as a group, known as the Twilight District. This is a little bit west of Hollyfandra, where the nobles live behind their little wall, essentially their walled garden, the walled suburb that all the rich nobles live in.
The gated community.
It's the gated community.
Yeah.
But as you head up to the Twilight District, it's pretty early in the day. It's probably no later than 11 in the morning. It's not very busy, and if you have any of you who have visited here, it's a little strange being here during the daytime. The shops are often closed. There are these long silken ropes that are dangled from various windows, holding all sorts of different shapes of these. There are paper and also these small artificed silver lantern shapes. So different kinds of lighting that has been set up here. Oftentimes, though some of them are still active, they'll be actually enchanted rather than simple little orange candlelight, maybe have red or greens or blues. It's very colorful here during the evening. But as you're walking through the streets here in the daytime, it's a bit odd. You pass by a few places that have many men wearing splint mail who watch you as you pass with this strange little creature at the front of your party. Just checking in on strange creatures is Meanie. What is Ralnor doing as you're heading up here through the city?
We did not bring him.
I think
We actually, according to Victoria when I spoke to her previously, what are you doing with Ralnor? Tucked under one of your arms.
I was gonna leave him Theosif at the start of the session, but I don't know, man.
You also have the option of putting him in your backpack, because he is very small at the moment.
You have a baby
Yoda.
Bjorn.
Yeah, we're gonna bring back the Baby Bjorn styling. And I'm gonna be jogging. I'm trying to get stronger because I'm really weak.
You're gonna go 5Ks with me?
Well, you're not using your backpack. I am going to require a hand while carrying Ralnor here, unless he's at your ankles.
No, I literally have a spell book in Ralnor.
Yes.
That's literally my.
But as you're
You have him in,
rushing
like
through
a
the
harness,
street,
and he's just like this, and you're dragging him.
you hear a loud voice, eerily similar to the Lionheart. What ho! Wait for just a brief moment. A man, this very short, but very slim man steps out with a wide brimmed hat, flat on the top. A series of these pinstripes going down his fine gambeson, steps out. Please. Today I offer not spectacle, but wealth. That there, he points down at this small blue apparition before you. That there is quite interesting and would be wonderful at my circus. How much do you want for it? Please, it's the Twilight District. Everything is for sale, and I have quite a heavy purse.
Glenwyn, keep moving.
Gross.
Glenwyn,
Let's
just
keep
keep
moving.
Oh, wait! As you continue running past the circus maestro,
Official guild business.
you all pull out of bed. Shun.
We're chasing
watch
it, not selling it.
One episode of CSI, and we're just like, at any given.
It
We all got
is a
sunglasses on.
small pin, but you do see, maybe not with so much of this maestro here, but when you've been stopped by various civilians, when people have walked up, holding this badge has an amount of weight. It is bronze, but you are here in the West End. It appears that holding a guild badge has real, concrete weight to it.
Doesn't Adan have a silver one?
Adan does have a silver one. You guys are getting real comfortable using the authority of the guild, the guilds here.
It's literally the first time we have.
I'm actually very comfortable with it.
Also,
I can see that.
Yeah.
Chloe, are you okay?
No.
of course.
What's Elle?
I cannot do this right now.
No, you continue running through.
We should visit that circus.
This is so intense, and I love it. As you continue making your way through the Twilight District, you finally begin reaching further north and begin seeing the northern wall of the West End. You've never been this far north, and you actually see there's another large gate. This one here having a tall banner mounted on a tall flagpole, probably about almost just shy of 4 stories in height. This very big metal rod that is reinforced by thin rope that is attached to nearby buildings. Atop it, that same beautiful black, red, and gold flag with that the small sigil of the Biblis plant in the center of it. That little green splash of color and life. The Eltzian flag. As it whips in the air, you see this massive gate defended by a small contingent of warriors. The gate itself is open during this time of day, and it appears that as you reach just near the gate, the Twilight District gets a little more savory than the rest of it. There are less clearly armed goons walking the street. The stores here look more regular. There's a market near here, and beyond the gate, you see the bulwark and a large clear trail, a somewhat paved road heading north out of the city. And the fox keeps hopping past. You watch one of the guards looks at it as he passes by.
Lasagna Smiles was this.
We're chasing this
The
creature.
guards don't seem to stop you. You're trying to leave the city, and you're not wanted criminals.
Yeah, they're more.
Yeah.
I mean, we will be after people report us chasing the little blue fox around.
Right?
Is the danger?
We just have to go capture the creature. That's all.
Oh. Do you want?
We got it.
We
help.
got
We got
it.
I got it.
We have that.
You quickly, you quickly get this very low-ranking guard to calm him down and continue chasing after this fox. Abel, looking around, I didn't think we'd have to leave the city. And as you begin following along the trail here, you begin heading up. It goes north and then curves pretty rapidly to the east, and the path splits. One going due north, one going almost due east, along the outside of the Eltzian wall. And the trail, as you begin following, it gets a little less nice here. The creature itself seemingly pausing at points, looking around before walking a little bit more. For the first time, it seems a little bit confused by where you're heading. So, what is this little fox again?
It's a magical artifact that's supposed to find Zerathal's lair.
We're going to return
Where
it.
did you get a magic Zerathal finder?
We
Trade
cannot.
secrets.
Our buddies.
Yeah, we can't answer that.
We found it.
We're going to return it to its original location later.
Yeah, to our friends. They are the ones that gave it to us.
Yeah, the original.
At this point, dropping down from one of the trees nearby is Chester Piffle, Arcus. Trade secrets is right. Now, you ought to be careful traveling through the forests here. We're a bit close to the Behringer Manor and, well, I don't know how much you trust Shar worship, but I'd rather we get to our business and get out.
It's me. You're drooling.
I don't worship Shar. I like little things above cribs that spin. Like
Bubbles?
that's what the Shar pendant is for Squawk.
Char is so antithetical to everything you stand for.
I know.
I love it.
I don't worship Shar. I use a medallion of a cleric of Shar to play with my familiar. It's
happens
very
to be-
different. Very different. It's a toy.
All right. So heading further there, you now have Chester kind of walking along nearby.
Got it. Figured it out. Got all the Shar stuff figured out. Thank you.
I don't understand either.
I have no idea.
She's drinking caffeine tonight.
I've had a lot of caffeine.
Kind of walking. So as you're walking through this forest, it gets a little bit dim. The trail itself continues going eastwardly, but the fox finally steps off, heading closer to the wall itself. On the outer portion, where you're at within the bulwark is relatively unknown to you. I don't want us to be in the forest for too long.
If you're scared, Mr. Big Bad, vigilante, you can head back.
He shoots a bolt near your foot.
Okay, let's not fight. Let's just
He's not really good with that thing. He missed.
Squawk go up.
Sending Squawk up. Give me a perception check. And it's actually such a clear thing here. I'll let you know the DC is not super hard where you're at.
Squawk's perception. That's hoot and chirp. 17.
17. As you fly directly upwards, Squawk flies rather, directly upwards and begins surveying the area, you see there are a number of guards who are patrolling further to the west of where you are. It doesn't appear that it's very patrolled here, as it's just sort of overlooking the bulwark. But you do see off to the northwest, surrounded by castle-like walls, is a large manor. A little bit larger and very differently styled than what you saw with High Lord Stanley Branson. Off in the distance to the northwest, built into a clearing within the forest, is a massive noble mansion, more like a keep than a fancy house here.
Okay.
And looking at it, the castle walls themselves look like they are considerably more reinforced than you're used to seeing for any single estate. And that's further to the northwest, which is the kind of the opposite direction of where you're going right now.
So that's Behringer.
Yes,
from what I can tell.
it looks pretty clearly like that's wall.
And it's fortified.
It is heavily fortified.
Seems like a terrible place to wander back to if you're drunk. Just saying.
I mean, it's his house, though. I could have guards and turrets at my house, but
I guess if your
it'd
carriage.
still be my house, though, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You're
it's
not
like
gonna
I
shoot
guess
me.
if your carriage
Well-
there and back.
Yeah.
High Lord Behringer oversees the Temple of the Night Mistress, and, well, wherever the temple is, they don't let the common folk know.
But they do.
So this might be a big ask, but am I familiar with the feeling of the bleeding stars, emerald things that I like?
Are you familiar?
Do I sense them when they're nearby?
So-
or anything like that?
What I can tell you is whether or not you have some sort of innate sense for them, it's not something you're certain of. Certainly, right now, nothing in particular has been flagging here.
Okay.
And when you have felt their presence, it's normally been in relatively close proximity and in unobscured line of sight.
So while we're, walking with this fox, I just want to really focus on that feeling when I found that first one.
Really
And
like
see
that.
if I can try to gauge and find.
I'm going to ask
if
you to
there's
make me a
something
charisma check, and this is with advantage. Just charisma, though.
Okay.
As it's sort of the focus of your spell casting here, and also your connection to these things.
Thank you to Chubas for gifting
I got-
subs.
Oh my god!
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much,
you.
dude!
With the caveat that we need to give a new emote. So, by the way, we're looking at rolling out a few
Absolutely.
new emotes.
Also,
and-
there was a question there. I didn't see that before. This is, in fact, a live game, one shot.
That's proof.
That's proof right there.
That's fair.
I got an 8.
You got an 8. So, as you kind of reach out, what I will say is this. Well, you're not certain. So the question itself, I'm not giving any hint on the answer there, is that kind of reaching out with your magical senses, you don't sense... It's the most quiet it's been for you in a long time. You've been in a city for so long, barely touching the minds of others, even just passively for being around you. But here, it's quiet. And finally, the fox turns one last time and faces the wall, the outer wall of Eltz, and looks directly at the wall.
I'm gonna cast Identify on the wall.
You take 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Can I just walk up and touch the wall?
Roll me a luck check.
I don't like that.
17.
17. As you touch the wall, stone, as you're kind of pressing around here.
Cold, warm, cool, warm.
It's pretty cool. It is. You guys are still in winter. It's not snowing today. It's so there's a little bit of fog. There's a little bit of mist coming when you're breathing here deeply.
Is there any air moving around?
Make me an investigation check. Gwynwyn, as you're casting the spell, this is kind of happening all at the same time.
It's a 3.
3. Looking around, it's not a bad idea. You've heard stories of hidden tombs and secret passages, and as you're kind of looking around, you don't find anything as you're looking around here. While Gwynwyn's casting that spell, you are concentrating while casting any spell with casting time longer than an action.
Yep.
Silas, you had a question.
Yeah, I was going to ask, just looking around the floor here, we're at the forest floor. Is there anything that looks disturbed? Broken branches, maybe footprints?
Give me a survival check. As you do, Chester kind of looks over to his menial Arcus, because Adan doesn't know his name. So what is the plan? What I think might be appropriate is if we have the. It sounds like we're gonna have to be somewhat subtle.
Mm-hmm.
I would recommend we have the Lionheart be our lookout.
Okay.
It can be me, alternatively, but he's a bit of a clanker when he's walking around in a base.
Sounds good.
Dungeon.
That's fair.
We also do know that most of the prisoners are kept below ground level.
I should be able to, if we locate them, I could try to signal, whoever we keep out here, we can try to signal that person to help with that.
I have a familiar that we could even send.
Okay.
Worst case
Should we have
scenario.
two, we could have 2 of them look out, but I think we'll be fine
Right.
with just 1. Especially, this creature seems to think this is where we're going in.
Sure, yeah.
He sends a whistle. Nothing happens for over a minute. Gwynwyn, as your spell is finished, two more sets of footsteps coming on as the vigilantes arrive. About 2 minutes later, you do not detect any magic where you currently are.
Okay.
I have a question for you that feels unrelated probably to some people.
Besides the fox, of course.
Where did we fight the Dwarven Cleric of Shar?
The Dwarven Cleric of Shar. You're referring, just as a brief reminder,
Yeah, I'm taking
you
notes on an old session.
are referring to... Where's the name?
Wasn't it in Noah O'Brien's factory?
It was.
Yeah.
In his office?
Yes. I have all my names.
Yeah.
You are referring to Haldrum Redpick.
Sure.
Yes, and you know for a fact he's one of the 3 apprentices of Zerathal you faced off with. That's information you already have here.
Right.
Haldrum, Orwyn, and Labathel.
Haldrim, Orwyn, and Labathel.
There's usually only 3s. We should be good.
Does anyone have like
And Behringer.
a fine powder, like a dust or something? Anything like that?
I've got some
There's
crushed
probably
bones.
sand and dirt on the ground floor.
Yeah, want to grab some dirt?
Yeah, I'll pick up some, if I can try to sift it in my hands to make it as fine as possible and just kind of kick up some dust and see if the air current, if it goes into the wall at all.
That is
Nice.
so clever.
Big brain.
As
move.
you talk, here's one thing I do like being able to say. I don't need to roll for this. You take a bit of this dirt, and as you toss it upwards, it's not a very subtle effect. You watch as quite a bit of the dirt sucks inward. It appears more than even just the light force of wind. It appears there may be some sort of inner air current inside the wall. As some of it, you watch as it hits the wall itself. There could be something here.
Should I dispel magic?
There's no spell as far as you can tell.
No
No
spell.
magic.
Feel around where
It might be like
I
a
have a
passcode.
crowbar. We could just.
Knock is loud.
You have located essentially some sort of seam if you'd like to try to physically break it open.
But we wanted to be quieter.
Well, we could open it and someone could. I can go invisible and slip in.
I don't have silence, so we can't just make it quiet and then you literally ram it down.
I mean, we don't have to be quiet.
Yeah, he has a point.
Adan hoists his hammer onto his shoulder.
I doubt that Zerathal doesn't know that we have. the
There's
velvet
probably
butterfly.
alarms already going off.
Right,
now,
we've
let's
already
be fair.
Just a quick reminder: you were aware that Zerathal, one of Zerathal's apprentices, was at the party.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
Looking for the item.
If this is too retroactive, did we hear any news of any arrests made at the party?
I don't believe you guys have ever described going and looking into like guard reports of who's been
That's
arrested.
fair. That's fair.
they live.
Something to follow up on later.
Yeah.
Great idea.
If we don't see her here.
We just call up Christine Cooper. Hey, got any scoops?
Fair. So, I am apparently taking the crowbar to the wall. If so,
Don's
damn.
probably gonna help you.
Yeah, I don't give you the help action. Going ahead, yes, you take your crowbar, trying to fit in the seam. That
No,
Laurentius.
I was just
Why not?
thinking of a nickname for Christine.
What? The
The Cooper Scooper.
Yeah.
Her column is the scoop and goop.
Yeah.
All right, Don taking the reverse side of his hammer, hooking it in the lower part of the seam. All right, and pull. That's going to be a strength check with advantage.
Okay. With advantage? It's
Yes.
nice. We're gonna go ahead.
That's a natural one on the low die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Mark
22.
it.
I rolled
though.
1, 2. I already
22?
marked mine.
So with a 22, you're standing here. There's this grinding sound, and eventually Adan pulls back, and you and him are almost knocked on your ass as you rip a portion of this door, of the door out. Some of it arcs and reveals that there's a false bit of stonework here. It is still true stone, but there's actually you can see there's a gear that is rotated outwards on the inside that you've essentially broken a latch here. This door does not appear to have been previously unlocked, but you have broken you've hit the break DC of the lock.
Nice.
So if
So
we're
we
not,
just broke the door.
if we're
Yes.
not going subtle,
You see inside there is a couple of snapped components. It appears that this was machined and not magically locked.
Okay.
So knock would have.
The-
Well, it wasn't locked, so we just.
Oh
needed
no!
to get it.
So I will let you know. To let you know, yes, knock as a spell would be appropriate for this sort of.
Oh, okay. Well, we
it
didn't
was
need it.
locked. There wasn't a typical keyhole.
Okay, cool. Well, I did prepare knock, so thank you for not casting me a spell slot. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. And I'm also on my ass.
if we're not going subtle and it's dark inside,
Yes.
Hammer.
Looking
Light.
looking into the door itself, it looks like there is. It only goes in a few feet before hard turning left. The walls here look like they're not. It's not a properly finished structure inside. You look at what appears to be layers of. Sometimes you see these segments of wooden logs that have been hacked and physically cut through to get in here, but also packed layers of mud and spackling and dirt and gravel. There's lots of materials that go into making a dense, compressed wall here. And it looks like this was created long after the wall itself was made.
I have a suggestion. What if we have you got Thorn and Gwynwyn in front because you have dark vision, and then Ismini in the middle, and then we're in the back because we'll have sources of light, and that way you guys can see without us spoiling that we're coming with light.
Okay.
Question.
Do me a favor, once you guys have if you decided on an order, for my benefit, just put yourselves into 3 rows.
Here's my suggestion.
I think it's a good
Heading
one.
towards the DM.
Oh, heading towards the DM.
Okay, sure. I don't care what the orientation
Or
is.
it
That sounds
will
great.
make sense because we're all facing you, so that would be straight
Great.
for all of us instead of some of us facing.
Can 2 of us fit side by side?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Right.
it look now not at all times. At some points it narrows down. I just don't. We're not concerning with a 5-person, a 7-person long.
And I'll put it on
order.
next to me.
Do my
You
eyes?
can go here where we're because I provide dim light within 15 feet. To
I'm
you.
casting the light cantrip, so.
Do my eyes
What
look
is
any
me
different
back with you all?
now that I have Devil Sight?
Sorry.
You know what? What I will say is, well utilizing it, well looking beyond what
Where
you
did
normally can see. There's a hint of green in there.
Okay.
Though generally speaking, most would need Devil's Sight to be aware of it. But if you were standing outside of magical darkness, people would see your eyes aglow with green.
Cool.
dog
though you
back.
can repress it at will if you decide to do so.
Well, he'll be behind you guys.
Not a
Yeah, but
problem.
he's human.
They can take cues from you
Well,
guys.
light also goes forward.
We have light.
Yeah.
Quinny,
No,
I'm fine with the dark.
We are going to both be lit.
It's 15 feet out from them. So it's,
I know.
It's up to a total of 60 feet of light.
Yeah,
Not
the
for
light
me.
cantrip.
Yes, for you, because it's 30 of bright, 30 of
so
dim.
everything's
30.
lit. It
If
doesn't
you
really matter.
maximize it, if you want to do that, I want to clarify how bright of a beacon you're describing.
No, I wanted to like dim mode.
So you're gonna dim, because you can dim it to a minimum of 10 feet bright, 10 feet dim, if that's what you'd like to do.
Just 20
Yeah.
feet out.
Or
So
like
everybody
night
would be
light.
standing in the light.
So I was saying that Gwynwyn and Thorn being outside of that.
Oh, to go take them further. I thought you were saying to move it
So
on
that
further back.
they're scouts and we are all
All right.
making
Realize
cues off
you're
of
talking
them.
about being more than a dash action away. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That okay with you, Thorn?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Are you
That's.
sure?
I was gonna say you might be multiple.
You have
you know,
to-
you're talking about multiple turns ahead of folks.
I'll maintain
Cool.
concentration with
Happy
his
with it.
meanie. I'll keep a connection with
Are you
you.
sure?
As
Yeah. Okay.
yes,
We're
you
going.
can change this later. It's okay. So you have with you as a reminder.
Us again.
Yeah, we're at a door. We have not entered the door.
Yeah.
We have the party. You also have Adan. You also have two of the vigilantes. The two in question are Bastellus and Arcus. All of them ready. Arcus taking up the rear over with his meanie, giving a bit of protection there. And similarly, Bastellus is going to be up near Adan, just ready to offer support where appropriate. Let's descend. As you all head in, are we keeping the door open or closed?
Open.
Closed. We're gonna make it look
Closed.
closed so that nobody else comes in after us.
We left Lionheart out there.
You can open
He's
the
hidden
door.
in a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but so that no one will come in.
Right, no,
God, anybody
hide it
comes
so
in.
Okay.
All in favor of hiding so no rando
Just
walks
close
Thank
the
you.
door. Close the
Great.
Keep closed door.
Closing the door behind you. Because the lock is destroyed, there's no satisfying click, but you are able to grind the door closed. There's just a small seam of light where you're able to see. But once you're inside here, you're in absolute darkness until Lilia, taking out this blade, there's the activation of this isn't done with a command word, it's done with a memory. As you focus on a sunrise, a blade which appears to be beautiful polished steel before it ignites with brilliant golden light, almost like flames flickering along its surface. And you focus. You said you wanted to dim this as much as possible.
Yeah.
So it is still going to be, it's light out to 20 feet, half of which is bright. And so it's very bright, and during the brighter portions, it is like being in fully outside high noon where you're standing. As you all begin proceeding through here, I get to ask one of my favorite questions. Connor, you want to roll me a d20?
Sure. I'm gonna use this one.
We are going to be in Theater of the Mind mode. You don't need to worry about the precise.
No,
I
they're-
like-
they're outside of the light. They're not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I already got
20
two.
So they are
Well, this is
I understand. We are not in numbers
Okay.
mode.
okay.
loser of today's session.
What was your d20 roll?
A 1.
We're
dead.
all gonna die.
Well, just me and Gwynman.
It's fine.
We're not near you guys.
See what's coming.
Let's go put the spellcasters in the front. What the heck is
We
wrong
still have
with
one
you?
of you.
As you
I
all,
like that I'm not getting
I can
any
do
blame
both.
for this.
as you begin descending, having turned into the wall, you realize you're probably walking somewhat parallel to the massive bastion-like walls of Eltz. They're quite thick. You would estimate they at no point are they thinner than 50, maybe even 60 at the thinnest point. And they do get wider at points, as there are large fortifications, these massive towers, crenellated fortifications along the walls every once in a while, every so often here. And as you are continuing, you actually can tell that you've begun to descend. The walls start becoming more and more uniform of this clay that has been padded flat, possibly some of it reinforced with metal or wooden pipes and slats to give it a little bit more structure. But as you navigate through, probably about 8 foot in width, these corridors, It's quite dark, and it's quite quiet. And for a time, you all are so alone. Descending further, you reach the first of these branches, and upon taking a little bit of time to decide which way you go, heading down a little bit further these corridors, this is kind of going along with Connor's role here, you spy a figure lying along the ground. It looks like what you see first here, those of you with the dark vision leading up there, Laurentius and Gwynwyn. This figure is currently lying prone on the ground, their feet facing towards you. They are off to the side at a slight angle in the hallway you're in. The hallway is widened to about 10 feet where you're at. It definitely feels like you're in a place that has been, what it's been made for, you're not certain, but meticulously planned where you are. But this creature, as you approach a little bit closer, looks to be covered in thick fur, despite its diminutive size. And now dark vision doesn't have color, but you see it is coated in some sort of liquid, and you see its face, a long snout, whiskers dangling off to the side, one eye open, the other closed, its eye looking off to the side. What the liquid is becomes pretty apparent as you see a massive wound in its shoulder, almost as if this large circular shape, an open wound here. Without light, it's a little bit hard to make those sort of medicine checks and such, but there is some sort of fur-covered creature, which I don't believe you'd be terribly familiar with without skill checks here.
We got a dead Wookiee. I say to
Probably about
What?
4 feet tall.
Okay,
Wookiee.
I'll quietly relay that they found a dead furry humanoid-looking thing.
Did they kill it?
No.
No, they didn't kill it.
Can we help it?
It sounds very dead. I don't think we can help that.
If one of you would like to make a medicine check, you can do so.
I'll-
Without light, the DCs are a little bit different here.
I'll cast Mage Hand and poke it.
15 pounds of force. The body moves just a little bit. It goes limp again. It doesn't appear like it was animated by anything. It was pushed over someone. As it moves, though, it becomes a little bit more clear because its head rotates and lays on the side. The long, thin snout, the tattered clothes here. This person has a lot, very mouse-like features.
I'll do a medicine check just to see if it's
Sure.
still alive.
Splinter.
A 6.
A 6. Looking over, so we got, this is a yes, but. So what I will tell you is this creature is certainly dead, though without further inspection, you're not confident you could determine what could have caused a wound like this. It has a large open wound on one of its shoulders, but doesn't have any clear signs of other battle. You can see the creature has a sheathed short blade. Hard to tell if it's a dagger or a very small short sword. The creature itself is much thinner than you, so in total size would be a much smaller creature than you. You'd say it was more like a kobold in size than even a dwarf.
Does the wound look similar to the wounds that I leave on people when I cast Eldritch Blast?
Taking a quick look, and now I will let you roll this medicine check if you'd like to, or if you're waiting for light, it's going to be it'll be a separate thing.
I mean, I can light up the room if that's all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dancing lights.
You make these small orbs of light, and as you do, this rat folk or were-rat individual, this rat-like humanoid lying on the ground, the wound itself, looking at it, is a bit stranger now. As you see, it actually had a pauldron underneath its shoulder, and looking around with the lights, you now notice half of the pauldron embedded into this small clay ceiling here. The hairs standing up straight around the wound, and the wound itself is probably... Oh, but gross. I don't know why my brain went this way. It looked like about half a soccer ball could fit inside of the wound in this guy's shoulder.
It's big.
And he's really small. He is a little guy.
So, Gwynwyn, you want to help me roll him over?
Okay.
Does it go through the other side?
Flipping him over, the backside, there is pooled blood here. There's two things you notice. One, the wound does not appear to expand to this side. The other, he has a small, somewhat familiar sort of object. You see he has a shield with 3 spikes coming off of on one side. The shield itself would be more like a buckler for anyone, for a medium humanoid. but is actually looks to be the shell of some creature. It's a pale blue with red freckle-like spots on some of these hexagonal sections. It appears to be a turtle shell shield.
I bet we leave.
Well, what about further?
Is the party waiting, or are you guys walking up at this point? Is my question.
I think we should just walk up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if we see light ahead,
Like this,
let's just
yeah,
go.
you've turned on light and you're standing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adan, a bit concerned with the rest of you, with his body, kind of walks up, looks over, and is also here, kind of looking. Oh my god!
Yeah, turtle shield. It's pretty cool.
Adan looks at you really concerned and just kind of looks at the rest of the party. What is everyone doing?
I think this might mean we're on the
I'm looking further
Right.
ahead.
path.
Is there?
Okay, so keeping an eye out.
Part of his armor was in the ceiling.
Yes, his metal pauldron has split in half. Now you notice it doesn't look like it was very well made. So you wouldn't assume this is a very hard thing to break, but it is flung up about 3 or 4 feet above where his head would have been if he was assuming he was standing.
Okay.
So it's sunk. The metal has sunk into the clay roof above you.
Is it just the one path ahead? Or
So
is it
there's
diverged?
you've already diverged once
Right,
here. You guys the fox itself, its magic stopped when you got to the lair. One of you, presumably you've put it back in the bag of holding, but I should have mentioned this, has reverted back into a statuette.
I know we're just here now stuck, but what are the walls like?
So the walls here,
Same walls as before?
so it's actually gone up and down a little bit. When you're a little bit higher, you get some of that reinforcements from the actual wall proper, where you see parts of logs and bricks that have been put here. Here, raw clay. Like it's padded down clay. Someone has dug underneath this wall.
So, I want to try and see if I can't find the part of him, the thing that hit him that caused this wound. Can I smell for what might be covered in blood other than him?
Yes, give me a perception check with advantage as you try to sniff out. Sniffing out blood is absolutely an appropriate usage of that ability.
Perception
Keen
17.
smell. 17. As you begin sniffing around here, looking for more of this blood, and survival could have also been appropriate here, but as you're looking very specifically for a certain smell nearby, and while you're aware this creature was walking through here, as you're sniffing here, it appears that it started bleeding roughly where it's currently laying dead. And you don't get any impression as you're kind of looking around. You sniff. You're able to easily touch the ceiling. You're crouching to be where you are here, just a little bit ducking your head. And as you look, there's no clear projectile here. There's no bolts.
Well, have we ruled out that it wasn't magic that hit him?
No.
Can I
think
see
someone-
maybe the wound looks arcane in nature?
Sure. Now I will say this, because you don't have no one's rolled a good I'm gonna ask for a medicine check here, as you don't really have an understanding of what type of wound this is.
Bounced a 6.
A 6.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, not much more information you can gather here.
Well,
I think Valnor acting.
he's just hanging out in my backpack.
He's not reacting.
He pokes his head out.
Don't let him eat the rat guy.
He's like 3 days old. We shouldn't have brought him, but I also was worried about leaving him at home.
Yes, where would you keep? You're able to hide him in your backpack, and we have his stats here if we need them.
He's fireproof.
I think
He is literally fireproof.
I think we've gotten what we can.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I agree.
Proceed with caution, you two.
Okay.
Let us know
Yeah.
when you need us to run up.
Dismiss dancing lights.
Oh, does he have anything in his pockets?
Oh yeah.
Reactivate dancing lights.
Through here, you
Sorry.
find small scraps of these. I'm going to call these. You find small scraps of food that you're not certain that you'd want to eat. There's meats of various of questionable sources. You find a familiar sort of stone known as a shard of power.
Hey.
Additionally, looking here, he has 6 copper pieces.
I'm not taking his money. I'm just like, I just wanted
But
to know
he is
if
carrying one of those shards of power.
you used
software.
yours.
I have one, I believe.
I only
left.
have one.
Let me double check, but I
Yeah, I've
believe
got
I have
one. Anybody
Yes,
else can
I have
cast third level magic? Nope.
No.
You're the only one that can cast third level magic.
I will have 2 shards of power.
Echoing through these halls, a deep, unfamiliar laughter, and then dead silence once more.
So let me take something. from
So
the bottom.
sneaking through?
Time.
We don't need to sneak anymore.
I think
He
we
knows
just
we're
all
here.
go together.
Sure.
There's no point in sneaking. He knows we're here. He just laughed at us.
No, unfamiliar. This is not the sound, the
it's
voice
not
of
Zerathal.
Zerathal.
Oh, did I only hear that? Did
No,
everybody hear
everyone
that?
heard this sound.
Did it happen whenever
Did
I
it?
touched the shard?
Kind of looking around. Not specifically.
Okay, I didn't
Was
know.
it a ha 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 or like a oh oh oh? Okay.
Okay, so like an evil but happy
I like
laugh.
putties.
Like
or
a
anything?
come fight me. if
The
you're
laugh
here.
was strange. Was a little bit strange in quality. It doesn't sound. You've heard less humanoid races speaking before. It doesn't sound like a normal person.
Cool.
Okay.
Sneak.
But then dead silence.
Let's go.
Worst case scenario, we can smack him around. We'll be fine.
Yeah, let's go.
Precisely.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on the floor while we're sneaking along. Just looking out for any tripwires or anything.
Okay. I like that. As you all are continuing forward, we did mention Laurentius was here in the front. Now, I need you to make me a perception check, and if it's lower than your passive, give me your passive perception. You all continue moving slowly
14.
through these passages.
That's my passive. It
All
was
right.
much lower.
14 is enough for me to mention this. As you're moving through in this next section here, well, you don't see anything like a tripwire here. What you do catch is that nestled near the ground level on one side of this wall here is actually a small pipe. Oh, it looks like a wooden tube that has been hollowed out, has been set into the wall, and it catches your eye in such a way where you feel it may be something that is dangerous. But looking further with both the light of your friends and your dark vision past that, you don't see a similar one at first, and you catch a second one about 15, 20 feet past, of these about 6 to 8 inches above the ground, these two little holes in the wall.
I'll point it out to Gwynwen, and do you have a way of marking it for the people behind us?
I was thinking
We're all
about
together. now.
Everyone's all together is what you were saying
Plugging
before.
it?
plugging it.
I'm afraid it's like a sensor. Like if we break the connection,
It's
a laser?
But you
Yeah.
passed one.
I'm thinking it's for poison to let
poison?
poison.
What if we prestidigitate a cork?
We need to have 4. There's 4 holes down?
2 pipes.
Two.
Two pipes.
So
Here's
somebody
one.
So
I can make one.
mine will go away.
We only need it for as long as we're in here. So just don't make anything else.
So
while
you
we're
two
in
make
here.
one.
You can make up.
You
to
can
3
make
things.
one.
You can make up to
can
3
make
things
one.
with regular prestidigitation.
Yeah, I make 2 corks.
The big thing is
You push one of the. You make a small bit of cork, but you make it as long as you can, so you can shove it all
Yeah.
the way into the pipe. All right.
On both pipes?
As you step forward past the first one that you've corked, walking forward, you hear a slight the sound of some sort of object moving through. You
Dart.
take the other cork, push this in, take a step past it, same sound. Hey, sometimes solving a puzzle doesn't require resources. But as you walk through here, you're in relative safety.
All right.
Though you do know, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Because there could be more of these.
Yeah.
Seems like a dangerous place to work. Just saying.
The hazard pay might be good though.
But as you,
True.
those of you who
Ocean.
were watching Elle, it appears that when Elle stepped just before the trap, and there was a small sound, almost imperceptible. And when Elle walked past was when the thump sound. So it appears that you triggered a trap and then walked into it.
Yeah.
But you did so very safely.
Yeah. Do we have a feeling that we're going like on an incline or?
You've mostly been descending so far.
Okay. Descend.
But when I say descending, you're descending single-digit degrees.
Okay.
You're not moving very much.
Okay.
Lower.
No.
But you've been traveling through here for a little bit, and I'm going to ask Jake to roll me a d20.
I'm not ready for this. It's not a 1. It's an 8.
Oh!
Low rolls today.
I can't tell if that's a good O.
As you continue heading lower and lower, something changes here as you watch as the clay gives way to cobblestone, and you see a very familiar sight, though much more grandiose than what you've seen in other cities, of paved ground and the foul stench of standing water and sewage.
Full circle.
We have gone into so many sewers.
We go
3, I believe.
so
This is the
many
third one, I think,
sewers.
yeah.
I think this is the third one.
Yeah, but that's already like 2 more than we would have
was
normally
this?
planned for.
Oh, wait a second. This is your second one. You've
Yeah,
been
no. We've
in
only been
underground
two.
tunnels that were servant tunnels.
No, we went
My-
No,
into
the
the
dirt fault,
sewer
this one.
in Orktown. Like that's where we started. Was the
Yeah,
sewer.
that's true.
Ah, my apologies.
And then like our first or second session.
First, second section. Yes.
Yeah, we went into a sewer.
All
I'll
right.
defend our sewer.
Yeah. We should
Sewer
call
count.
ourselves the sewer rats.
Yeah.
But
That's-
As long as
As
you don't
you-
end up like that guy.
as you begin descending, heading in, it does not appear that where you are is in terribly high usage. As looking around, things are unfinished and damaged, and kind of going with that roll from Jake here. As you continue walking through the slight sound of rushing water from possibly a nearby tunnel, you come upon a damaged section of the actual of this pathway. The stone gives way to a drop that, looking down, appears to be about 15-ish feet, roughly. Looking over, one side of this wall is incredibly. One side of this wall looks incredibly damp. The other arcs over into what looks to be a very small clearing that you could potentially try to climb into. But you can see the actual bottom of it. It appears to be. You're not sure of the stability of it looking. So you have damp wall, you have a drier wall, but it has a place for you to stop, but it is potentially rough. And about 15 feet further, 15 feet across, you have the continuation of the path you are currently along.
Do you have your rope at climbing?
Not
Win-win?
today.
No.
Not today.
One of those that's an infusion.
Ah.
Gave the wizard more spell slots.
It has much harsher competition now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
15 feet.
We can make that jump.
I can make that
Featherfall?
I could almost make that jump.
jump.
Looking down below, it does not appear though the ground is not perfectly level, so it would hurt to fall. It doesn't look like it's not a. It doesn't. You don't see any clear spikes. You can all very easily see to the bottom.
Is there a way to like shimmy along the side?
So it'd be if you wanted to. So shimmying would be hard. It would be more doable on the right side, but again, you're not certain of the stability of those remaining fragments of brick and stone.
So yeah, I cannot make
I
it across.
do
I don't
have
know.
a regular
I can go
hempen rope
9
if we want
feet.
to do that.
10.
Yeah.
Can I, this is a weird one, make a carpenter's tool check to see how unstable these are? I don't know if that's carpenter.
It would actually, so this would be, architecture tools aren't a thing, but stonemasonry would be appropriate for this sort of thing. Yes, Gwynwyn. Gwynwyn's like, there's so many rocks!
Stone?
Be a dwarf.
I know. I love it.
Adan kind of goes, I'm not actually the greatest at climbing, if I'm being
15.
honest.
If you gave me, I can make the jump just barely. It's how long is
It's,
it across?
15 feet.
I can make
If you
the
have a
jump.
strength value of 15 or higher, you can make the jump without a check.
Right. I do not have a strength value, but I can
But
make
yours
it.
is dexterity because of
Yeah.
your subclass. So you can jump 20 feet.
Yeah.
So you and Silas have the ability to simply leap across.
You could give me a rope and we could pull it taut and people could go across that way.
I do have a rope.
Defeated by gravity.
How hard would it be if I
Truly,
was
gravity is the
to
biggest puzzle.
like piggyback on your back and then you jump with me on your back across?
It would be an athletics check, just to let you know.
Oh.
Silas.
You want to?
You could also
Yeah.
misty step across.
Okay.
We
gonna-
have to put all of our trust in Gwynwyn.
Why? I don't like that.
No, I'm not. I can't hold my.
We can't. We can't.
We
do
can
it.
climb
can't-
into her bag of holding.
We can't get into the opening.
Yeah, Silas is impossible to get.
Right.
in
We
the
can't
They
get
can
inside of the
jump
back.
on my
But we could get
Hole we
across.
could
I'm gonna
into.
climb
We can't
onto
get-
Silas's back and be like, all right, let's go.
Make an athletics check, Silas.
It was a 15 on that
Actually,
stone base.
this has been my good
15. You're gonna want to be a light person if you're gonna try to shimmy across that little the side.
Do you need to run?
14?
Good news and bad news. I'm gonna determine who the good news is for.
Oh no.
Goodbye.
Maybe it's a bit of selflessness as you begin leaping. You realize you might have undershot, not so much because of the distance, but as you're running across, you kind of lose your footing a little bit. As you begin leaping, the ceiling's not that high. You kind of duck and begin falling, giving just enough of an angle so that Laurentius is able to kind of tuck and roll onto the other side.
You're welcome.
Buddy! Silas take 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And Silas, if you held your trunks upwards, you're only like 2 feet from the 2 to 5 feet from the top here. You can begin climbing up here.
Oh, that's not too bad.
I'd like to climb down and then just climb back up the other side.
Do you want to climb across?
It's an athletics check.
Can I support her from down here? Just like.
Yes, you can give her the help action. Adan is going to go ahead and just leap across. Same thing also with Chester as well. And you see a moment later, Bastellus just kind of looks down at Silas, who's helping up Ismini.
A natural 20 for a 19.
I love negative modifiers sometimes, man.
I went for it.
It's graceful.
So taking a bit of time, you're able to be successful.
Gwynwyn will do the same.
Gwynwyn, because you have Silas down there, Silas, you kind of took the penalty of this challenge.
We also could have just Misty stepped over if we had it, but
Save the spot.
Save the spell slot.
That is an option.
Yeah.
Silas, you take a little bit of time, able to help up Gwynwyn, able to help up our dear Ismini, and you see that Adan leaps over, Chester leaps over, Bastellus. Seeing Adan across, Bastellus takes this little metal rod, shoots Adan's half plate, and pulls himself across.
I love Bastellus.
Pulls the magnet off. That was weird. Bastellus pulls the magnet off of Adan, puts it back on his. It's a utility belt. We know that.
how does that work?
Magical magic.
It's a lodestone.
What?
A lodestone.
Can I jump across now?
Yeah, you want to jump over Bastellus. You don't even have to roll if you don't want to. You want to roll acrobatics anyways?
No, I'm scared. Okay, well, let's see if I whip it.
Yeah.
It's an 18.
Yeah, you can fully leap over Bastellus.
I touch his head and do a front flip.
Hey.
Last but not least.
You leap over Bastellus, making your way across. We seem pretty safe where we're at. Having taken only the minimal amount of damage here as you continue on your way. Amanda, would you like to roll me a quick check?
17!
Finally, a high roll.
Double digits.
Always a good thing.
And that 20 is just Zerathal.
You all continue along your way, descending a little bit further into the sewers, and you see here that the path you've been kind of wandering through here, it's just on the edge. Sometimes you go back into that clay section from before. You're following the wall currently, exploring. Someone is very deliberately. When you see these portions, you can tell someone very deliberately created this pathway here. But as you continue, once more, do you find death here within this underground lair. This time, a figure, green scales covering their body, their shield shattered over to one side, and what looks to be a broken spear, still in their hand as he lies there dead, is a lizard folk. This reptilian has, you can see a large satchel that has been slung over his shoulder and is near a damaged hand cart.
Is this stuff full of like junk from?
Give me an investigation check.
Ooh, that's a thing to roll. 12.
12. Taking a quick look around here, you find something odd here. This small hand cart, it's not more than 2.5, 3 feet wide. It's really just a convenient way to carry what looks to be the primary object here. There is a small metallic cylinder that has a stone base to it that's about 1.5 feet wide. It gives a little bit of an overhang on top of, or it's wider than the cylinder on top. This is something that would be familiar, most especially to Lilier. Gwynwyn, I forget, you don't have blacksmithing proficiency at all, correct? So, Elle, you're most familiar. This is a small portable forge. This object is also accompanied by, if you're looking at the satchel as well, you find a few things. There are a pair of these flasks containing what looks to be water. There are 3 shards of power. There is 100 gold worth of powdered silver. And there is heat-resistant clay. These materials are all very familiar to Ismini Callister. Make me an Arcana check.
Yeah.
With advantage. Excuse me, my apologies.
16. Carry the 1.
Carry the 1. Raise the third power. Integrated over the y-axis.
Then do the quadratic.
26.
26.
Yeah.
Why?
Carry one.
For some reason, this lizard folk was carrying the means to create some sort of vessel for holding something. Holding something extra planar.
Are there any? Is there any?
Rudimentary.
Is there any paper?
Oh, there's a bit of parchment. Yeah.
Like, is it
There's nothing written.
Is this empty paper?
There are scraps of parchment. There is a nice collection of refuse here, as you found last time you encountered the lizard folk. Just discarded trash that you.
I know
that's
they don't
washed
necessarily
in
have it
sewers.
written
No.
script, but
But what's strange is looking around here, there are scratch marks. Whoever's been using this forge has clawed hands like this lizard folk. It doesn't look like he salvaged this. It looks like he brought it here.
Was the laughter we heard before? We met a daemon, right? Was that laughter similar to the daemon we met?
Thinking about it, it's hard to say because you weren't really talking with the Mesoloth that you met
Yeah.
in the past. And more interestingly, it didn't use words, so it's hard to say, was it laughing in abyssal?
Yeah.
It's hard
That's
to tell
fair.
there.
That's fair.
I'm gonna reach out and touch the shards of power.
Placing your fingers upon them. Now you didn't closely inspect the last ones
Right.
here, but they're a very similar of what you saw previously. Now the ones here look to be more finely made than what you saw a long time ago in Coppersbeck. But here are these collection of it's just negative energy stored within a small crystal.
We don't have 10 minutes for me to read the future, so.
What's on the lizard guy? He had like a satchel.
Yeah, all the stuff
Oh,
to
the-
bind and.
That's what
bu-
you were searching.
The
I thought you
materials
were
here
searching the card.
look like they're designed to contain extra planar creatures. These are binding material. These are spell components for binding magics.
We
you
should
want
take
these?
the powdered silver, likely.
I mean, we'll put it all into the satchel, and I'm gonna take the shard of power that I picked up from the other guy and put it into that satchel, and we're just gonna carry the satchel with us
Okay.
You want the satchel and the
Separate.
bag of holding?
separately.
And not the
Do you not want it
not the
to-
portable.
Should I throw it over my shoulder?
I mean, if you want to, I have this weird. Okay, I'm a little bit stitious.
I could
But-
take the kiln, throw it on my back. About 80 pounds. You have a fighter with you. An extra fighter with you.
Right. My point was more. I'm a
I
little
don't
bit.
think we need.
I'm a little superstitious about what's going on over here, like with all these people being caught with like these certain kinds of items on them. So I want to collect them all. That's what I'm suspicious of.
Let's keep
Did
going.
we
That's the thing
Let's
that's
go.
got me
You
suspicious.
do, once again, coming
Is it-
from the direction you were headed towards,
Yeah.
hear this loud laughter.
And
You.
it's something we can
Should we
actually
laugh
hear,
back at
right?
it?
All of you can hear it.
All of us
Okay.
out loud, like
Out
if I
loud.
plugged my
It
ears while
bounces
he's
off the
doing
walls, all that.
It's very echoey. It's like, wow, the acoustics in here are kind of killer.
it. But like I can do this with my ears, and it like
Yes.
dims in and out. Okay, it's not in our heads.
You clap your ears, they just ring.
Oh my god.
I think we should go after that. I don't think we need the kiln.
Can the
think we
kiln fit in the satchel of holding?
Is it
Technically,
more than 4 feet tall?
No. It's
Then yes.
it's pretty small. If you want to put it in the bag of holding.
sure, just in case we need to bind a demon
It's
down
not
here for
sharp.
any reason.
You don't have to worry about weight.
Oh.
Now, as long as you don't overload it, it's not gonna like rupture that way. It doesn't. You okay?
I may be ready for this.
She's had 2 epiphanies tonight, man.
I've had
the
6,
caffeine.
but it's all the caffeine. It's so much caffeine. Okay, I'm sorry. I just thought that I might have an idea.
Okay.
Sorry.
I've got no idea.
was that
Going
wrong?
inside my head.
Don't worry about it.
Let's press
Well, as you continue heading forward, you hear the laughter once more. As you continue, you begin ascending a little bit, returning to the layer, not of just the sewers, but of these, once again, you're within the wall. You can tell you're still within the northern wall here in the west end, here in the portion of Eltz you're most familiar with. Coming along, 3 pathways lie before you. The laughter echoes out once more. Difficult place, ringing, bouncing off of this stone and dirt. The these packed, muddy walls making the sound. It kind of dampens a little bit as you comes from behind you. So from behind, The sound dampens from behind you, able to make it very clear that it's certainly coming from in front of you. Though, for more specifics, I'm gonna need something that's higher than your passive perceptions.
Can I
make that?
Can you smell?
I was actually gonna ask, do I smell blood and death from any of these 3 paths?
Make your perception check.
Or
Can I just-
sulfur?
Listen real hard.
Yeah,
With
make
my
me a perception
nose?
check. You can't. So yes, but I'm gonna only care about smells if you're taking your advantage of that.
You know what?
This is more of a sound check that you're trying to do here.
Then I'll do sound. Perception?
Perception.
It's 11.
23. I'm hot today.
23.
Nice.
Roll hot.
Good news, bad news. Silas, 3 pathways. You're pretty sure it's coming from the right. It's Meanie. You're with that note. It sounds like it's coming from the right and from the middle. Maybe they're connected.
Okay.
Can I cast dancing lights and put like a moat down each tunnel, and then see which one looks like it's been traveled down the most?
Make me a survival check as you send more of these magical bolts going through here.
I think that's only a 12. Let me double check. Yeah, 12.
As you kind of step forward, looking down one of them, you see briefly a figure passing along, probably about 60 or so feet into the tunnel. This is through the middle tunnel. It looks to be a dwarven woman, reddish hair. You see she wears a relatively simple, a simple leather shirt. She does not turn to face you. She's like turning her head as she walks out of view to the left. She's wearing very simple, like working attire. Looks like she had some sort of belt with equipment dangling from the side, but didn't look like weapons.
Did it look like blacksmithing tools? Or smithing tools?
Kind of hard to tell. You can tell there's equipment, there's clanking and sounds, but this isn't. The person itself, you don't have a great view of them.
Fair.
You don't have something terribly precise. But you do see a dwarven figure pass by.
Middle?
I'm gonna need everyone to make me a wisdom saving
Or
throw.
Do we split the party?
No, we do not split the party. Oh, God.
No.
You said wisdom?
Wait, tell me, is this the first time
We all
see it?
failed. Except for probably you.
Mine was
Connor, can you mark 2 natural ones for me?
No, our NPCs!
It gets worse.
Oh, that's 20.
One more. Or no, Destellis? Did he roll 2? Okay, cool. All 3 of them.
You're okay.
Okay.
Our friends.
Laurentius.
I got a 7.
Silas.
I got a 4.
Oh my God, Gwynwyn.
0.
Natural 1 for 0.
Can I
call
go
that
before
today?
you go?
Yeah.
We're gonna do. I got a 3, guys.
Oh my God.
We're gonna die today. We're going to die here.
It's Meanie Callister, scion of the House Callister, 3rd child of the Protectors of Summer. What is your result?
19. Thank you.
When we come back from this break, there is going to be chaos, as that is an absurd number of fail safes. Now we're not leaving. Don't leave. We'll be right back. We're gonna go refill our drinks, take a quick potty break, and when we get back, Gwynwyn is going to chase after Galstrid Grandfear.
What?
Ranfield?
All right, we'll be right back.
What?
Oh my god. me.
We're back, I believe,
With Cat.
with Kat. Welcome, Jazz, one of our resident familiars.
She's
love her so
yeah,
much.
She's climbing.
All right, so we had one little mistake that we went ahead and
No.
look.
Trying to get her head off. Okay. Thank you,
Make a
guys.
dexterity saving throw, IR well.
She failed.
You delete.
Yes, it-
I'm
yeah.
trying to, but she's going like this.
So we had a little rules mistake last time. It was because of the nature of this effect. Some of our players actually had advantage. For most of them, didn't change anything, though it is going to affect your result, Laurentius.
Yes.
Because this is a charm effect. So let's describe what happens here. Several of you begin to hear the shouting, the words, somewhat the cries of individual voices that you're very familiar with. Now, Laurentius and Ismini, we'll get to you last.
Great.
Gwynwyn, your mother Galsted has begun walking through here. She's looking around. She's lost. That's your mom. Why is she here? You see her. She's right there.
I charge after her.
Begin charging there. Silas, it's Galsted. She's your adoptive mother. She's raised you since you were just a little tyke. Little is harsh because you were about the size of Gwynwyn. But a young child. As the two of you begin barreling down that middle path. Ililie?
Wait. You guys.
Ililie.
It's Mom.
You begin hearing something, and you can't quite place it at first before you watch as both Arcus and lose my name, Bastellus begin sprinting down the leftmost hallway. You hear Arcus is just shouting at Bastellus, but you can't quite make out what he's yelling as he chased after his friend. Before you see a woman walking down the right hallway towards you. She stands tall. She's wearing a very simple white vest. It's the top one unbuttoned, most disheveled for her appearance. Resting at her hip, trusty as always, brilliantly made elven glass, your family's moonblade. As your mother, Cestus Arundrol, steps closer. My sunlight, you can't be here. There's a dreadful beast. Stay close.
What are you doing in Eltz?
There's no time.
You told me not to come here. What are you doing here?
She looks to you, and you know this is your mother. This is her. And as she looks at you, Ililie, whatever this creature is, I've not faced it in so long. Your mother's in danger, she says, referring to Delilah. I need your help. I'm not certain if my steel will be enough without you.
Okay, we'll get his meeting and we'll go.
All right. We're jumping between these. All these are sort of happening here at the same time.
There's also a fight.
Our
Under
animals
the
are freaking
table.
out.
Under my legs.
It's okay, they keep doing it.
As you're here, before we go to Ismini and Laurentius, I still want to actually go back over to the Galsted encounter here. Mm-hmm. Gwynwyn, Silas, she's here and she might be hurt. One of her sleeves looks like it's coated in just a little bit of blood, like something has hurt her. She's injured. She hasn't noticed you yet.
You need to stop.
I'm gonna cast Healing Word on her.
All right, as you cast the spell, brilliant light enveloping her whole form, illuminating. It's a little stranger than normal. Normally, there's a little essence of light that surrounds them, but for a brief moment, it looks like her shadow itself is illuminated. But that's not important. Your mother's here, and she was hurt. She looks at you. Oh, Gwynny. And my big, strong man. Are you all right? Why are we here?
We're fine. Why are you here in Eltz?
I missed you.
But you were
was
supposed to be
something-
home.
There was something so horrible and dark. Please.
Oh, we're gonna hug her. I'm freaking
Oh, come giving her a big hug, and though she's a little bit shorter than Gwynwyn, because Gwynwyn's wearing her heels, and Silas, you're so much bigger than her, but even so, you're both enveloped in this warmth. This warmth you feel like you could stay in forever and ever. Let's start with the real world.
All right.
Ismini, Laurentius,
So
I'm not the only bad guy
so
here.
everyone ran down different hallways.
everyone except for Ismini, Laurentius, and Adan.
A dog. Always so
Good
steady
boy.
and stable.
He's also thick-headed.
Oh, sure.
Guys, as your friends all disperse, some of them gibbering, they're flapping their mouths, releasing these strange sounds. Some of them muttering things about their mothers. You do catch that running away is bickering. Is Chester, is Arcus, and Bastellus running down the farthest of these chambers here. Is Meany and Laurentius, as you're kind of looking through here, which tunnel are you looking down? Which tunnel
I'm
do you
watching
start?
The L tunnel.
Okay.
I'm watching the Gwynwyn and Silas tunnel.
Okay. we get to describe. Okay, so you guys are kind of looking
Please
down
do
this.
describe both.
We're gonna start over here with you. You see, that's strange. Look, walking towards Ililie, you see one of the nobles of summer. You see Ceastus Arendral. Sort of. As you watch the figure, it certainly has the face of this woman you've met before. It certainly is moving towards her, but as it does, its movements are strange as it glides just barely above the floor, a strange blue stalk emanating in its shadow and off into the darkness. This long flesh-like, not quite like a tentacle, but this long blue limb reaching from the darkness, holding up the form of Ceastus's mother, but it doesn't look right. Like it's not a hard deception here. It's the wrong form. It's a little bit misshapen. It just sort of looks like a blurred.
It's not
version of it.
taxidermy. It's clearly.
Clearly
not
something.
her.
As you
Okay.
can tell, there is illusory magic causing this part, though with how Ililie is acting, perhaps there's something more going on as well. This is a combination of effects here.
It's that fish with the lamp thing.
Anglerfish.
Anglerfish,
As all of
yeah.
you are talking, but from the external world, you're mumbling somewhat incoherently, occasionally coming through with a bit more clarity, but you are charmed, and these are real to you.
Yeah.
You get to act how you want, but they do to you appear to be legitimately here. It can be strange that they're here. Ililie, you're in danger. Your mother needs your help in order to defend against this horrible creature that's here. And it's going to hurt your other mom. You have to protect them. You're a hero now. Laurentius, looking down the middle hallway, as you see the vigilantes disappear into the darkness of the left, they sprinting off. These two here are approached by a little dwarven woman, kind of looks like Gwynwyn, but it's really strange. Its limbs have just kind of been flapping up and down. No sound is emanating from these creatures. And again, this blue limb extending from, you can see here, actually from the side, just a limb ending at just underneath her armpit that is holding her up and moving her around.
Punch our friends or punch the thing.
I'm Eldritch blasting that thing.
Make an attack roll! Alright. This horrifying creature that's going around. We're just going to keep going around. There's no initiative here.
I'm gonna also swing
I
at
couldn't tell if that was
Joltesh.
cocked, but I
It
think
was
it
cocked.
Adan is horrified.
Yeah, it was sounding weird.
Should I go after the others?
You smack the tentacle.
Which
Any tentacle.
He pulls out his hammer, and just charges over towards Ceastus.
So both beams, boom, boom, 23 and a 25.
Okay,
To
roll
hit.
damage.
Do I see this?
Gwyn? Yeah, we're gonna talk in a second.
no.
Oh, yeah!
With my new
He is
invocation,
gonna die.
it's 24 points of damage.
24 points of damage. As you strike, what was
14.
14? Okay.
Wait.
This was with
12.
what ability?
12. Chill touch.
Chill touch? Okay, excellent. And
No, just to hit. I didn't.
yes, just to hit. I understand.
Yeah.
Same thing over here. Adan's also a miss. So let's talk over here first, because this is actual strike. Laurentius, you fire these two Eldritch Blasts, striking at this blue limb, which rocks the body, this false form of the parents of the mother of Silas, the adopted mother of Silas, and the blood mother of Gwynwyn. From your point of view, while you're in this charmed state, you see Laurentius falls slack and leans forward, his eyes glowing bright, as he fires two Eldritch Blasts at your mother. She's struck, blood spurting from her lips, horrified. Why are you letting him do this to me?
How far away is Laurentius?
He's within movement speed.
I'm gonna need him to make an athletics check as I grapple him.
Make an athletics or acrobatics check. Gwynwyn, what are you doing?
Hitting him with firebolt.
You're gonna make an attack roll.
Fail.
You just attacked my mother. How dare you? A 17 to hit.
22
hits.
to be grapple.
22, you grab him. Oh, with your hands actually this time?
Yes.
Grabbing him with your hands, lifting him up as he's struck by a bolt of flame.
14 points of fire damage.
For 14 points of fire damage.
Don't hit my mother.
Over on the other side, Cestus is standing here. Your mother, this regal woman who's been in charge of your homeland for so long over in Jubilee, and you watch as Adan comes up, calling out barking orders at Ismini, who immediately just nods and begins casting magic upon your mother. Adan strikes low, striking your mother in the belly as she keels over, blindsided by this attack. My child. But this isn't how she normally speaks to you. In the moment, it's chaos.
Brushing past it, happy to see my mom again.
It's beautiful, half-elven woman.
I take the Martyr's Lament.
Oh my god!
And I say,
Hit our friends.
you know, I was really worried that you didn't get into contact after I left, but I assume it was for the right reason. And I swing my sword at Adan.
Yes! Make the attack roll!
No!
Alright.
It's fine. You don't have to have us hit things.
13.
13 misses. Adan reaches, he drops his hammer, grabs your arm, and looks at you. This cruel, wicked expression on his face as he looks at you, gnashing his teeth, his face almost distorting where he's at here. How much damage is that again that you did to this creature?
Me?
Yes.
24.
Evens. The form that was previously Gwynwyn's mother transforms into a single bright blue hand. It is it is a caustic, acidic blue that slinks into the darkness. The spell is gone. You're aware. Wait, what just happened? You feel magic
I
leaving
got my
your
sword
body.
out. I'm like about to hit you with it. Just holding it
Over on the other side, Adan still just trying to now pry Alilia out of the clutches of Cestus, who is now grabbed onto her arm and is pulling her towards the darkness further in the
Can
hallway.
this creature please make a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, yes, it can.
Is this creature injured?
This creature is injured. Ooh, even with advantage, that is only going to be a 14.
That fails.
Nice.
That's 8 points of necrotic damage.
Oh my gosh. This is a bad die. I should use this more often.
Yeah.
I'll keep
As you toll the dead, you ring these bells out at this false image, this false idol of truly one of the great heroes of summer. It vibrates. You watch as it like someone hit its funny bone. It rears back, and then you've seen an insect that has been hurt before. The way it coils up in a strange, unnatural pose. You watch as it arches its back so far, it's almost as if she snapped her spine before turning into a bright blue hand and slinking off into the darkness. Ililie, you're free.
Gotta go get the vigilantes.
As you're here, you're quite confused, I am sure, by what's happening here. Adan, looking at you.
Let me go. Put me down.
El, are you okay? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't. He hammer's still on the ground.
Hey, it's okay. I thought my mom came for me. It's fine.
There was
No.
this creepy hand. And
Let's go kill it. You want to go kill it?
I'm
That will
ready.
make us all feel better.
Vigilantes.
I'm trying to catch up to Ismini.
Let's go.
You hear yelling, hollering. There is this pained sound, curses in Dwarvish. As you begin rushing back. Are you guys just cool? You're instantly in running after?
I'm very confused, but just following the sounds of chaos, yeah.
Okay. Following along with the party is a grisly scene as you arch your way around here with two very much alive companions.
No.
But you see Bastellus lying here, kneeling here, excuse me. Chester standing over him, looking horrified, his crossbow just dangling to the side, as Bastellus is holding what looks to be an elven man who, wearing very familiar looking this black cloak that covers a good portion of this darkened armor in front of him, his face obscured with familiar makeup. Again, this false visage you've seen before. Whoever this person is they're seeing, you watch as Bastellus is weeping over this elven man. However, the shouting, which is, again, erratic, it seems like he's shifting between these two states. Here you get to see something interesting. Not only do you see that small blue stalk extending from this false creature, but you also see what looks to be a black limb. The end of it, rather than just an entire hand, it looks like it has one arched finger that is still impaled into the shoulder of Bastellus. And as it does, you watch as, sorry, not the shoulder of Bastellus, like more about right here, it begins expanding.
Yeah, as soon as
His flesh begins expanding on his side.
Yeah, as soon as I can do
yells.
anything, this creature's making
Go for it!
Making another save for me, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
when I
she's
get a
doing
chance
that.
too, I'll attack.
natural 1.
If I have to dash for this, perfectly fine.
Sure.
I want to try and grapple whatever it is. Grab it, hold it.
Okay, I am going to roll my athletics check. Let me make sure I have the correct thing here. All right. I add 10 to this.
I add 9 to this. Oh!
23.
It was almost a natural 20, but it's actually only an 11.
As you head over, there's this red limb. As you grab it, trying to pull it out, you actually are surprised by this success here. It's quite strong. As you begin ripping it out, you watch as there's this large bulbous section of flesh having bubbled outwards on the side of Bastellus, who's yelling between these bouts of confusion here. Though confusion might end shortly. But as you do, you try to grab this black limb as it retreats, pulling backwards like a rope that it was held taut before being released.
I don't like this thing.
Again, limb is accurate, but this one is more like one finger as opposed to the full blue hand you saw before. With the damage,
13.
Gwyn, were you doing something to this one?
I'll cast Firebolt at it.
Make your attack roll.
Yeah, I was gonna attack.
Yours as well.
20.
Hit. I will let you know, the fire doesn't seem very effective here.
Does
21 points of fire damage.
Cool. Halved. Still works, but halved.
does an 11 and a 13 hit?
No, neither of those hit. But as you're all striking against this, let me make my real quick. Oh my gosh! That's another natural 1. I'm at 4 tonight, I believe. But as you are striking this, the hand shimmies again as it loses the focus on this ability and retreats its limb. As you all are firing at this, you watch as your friends kind of stand there in a bit of a stupor. Bastellus, snapping out of it, begins tapping the ground looking for this humanoid before realizing what's happening here. This massive wound on his side bursts. You watch as, for a brief moment, here under the light of your under the dancing lights, you see a fragment of bone as Bastellus is grievously wounded.
I don't like how many dice.
It's not actually. I've rolled more. It's fine. So Chester and Bastellus coming out of their stupor as at the start of their following turn, this bursting effect as Bastellus is grievously wounded, still conscious, howls.
Cool. Yeah.
Pull out a wolf's will and give
Pulling
it to
out.
him.
No, faster than that. I'm pulling out.
Can Adan and I
He is
circle up?
above 0 hit points. He is not dying at the moment, but there is
I
a
have-
massive circular wound on his side.
I hand him a red potion.
You want to feed it to him?
Yeah.
Yeah. This man doesn't see. He seems a little like he's a little distracted.
10 points of healing for that.
10 points of healing. As you begin trying to close his healing, Adan, kind of thinking quick, begins pulling out, drops the satchel he was carrying for one of you guys, drops his bag, and begins trying to pull out like gauze and bits of bandages to try to begin wrapping and protecting
I'm
him.
feeding him another.
Okay. These are going to be very helpful to keep this guy from any.
7 points of healing.
All right. You know that applying this magical healing quickly can kind of prevent future permanent or lingering injuries. As the wound slowly begins to close, it's not. These sort of potions aren't going to be enough. You can tell here this is going to take some. He's going to need bed rest, most likely.
Yeah.
But with what you've done, you actually see that one of the bone, the bone is snapped back into place. One of his ribs, and here, having been burst through some of his outer armor here,
Well,
he's
we know-
finally calm. I didn't like that.
We'll get you back outside.
Chester.
Chester,
You,
Arcus.
Arcus.
Dude,
Arcus.
I'm curious.
I'm in the moment. I
What
said
is-
it.
Okay.
We just saw Mom.
Adan kind of looks over. I can.
It was a mistake.
Yeah. Arcus. I'll help Arcus. Let Arcus.
Bestellus and Arcus.
With your permission, you can have him help. Chester can do it on his own, but if you want to have another person with him,
Yeah,
that's an option.
absolutely.
Getting him the hell out of here.
And we're gonna go kill
We
whoever
should.
that was.
Yeah.
I
All
want
right.
revenge. Yeah.
As you're here,
You know what did it now?
you watch Adan hoisting up Bestellus onto his shoulder. Chester taking the other side. Really
Arcus.
bad. Well, I'm the DM. No one hears me. But you watch as they begin kind of moving back, kind of keeping their heads on a swivel here. You find yourself once again in one of these darkened hallways. You have your moat, sure, but at some point the light ends.
Before we head off to hunt this thing down, I'm gonna cast Armor of Agathis at 2nd level.
Coating yourself in these green flames that slowly dim almost invisibly near the end of the casting.
Do we remember
Good
what
spell.
happened when we were charmed?
You do. It was so real, but now when you think back of it, it was so real, but then you're aware, but wait, she looked so wrong. Why would I believe that?
We
Could
kind
you
of hit him with a fireball.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But as you're here, the little creature kind of groaning as the clear tension in the air. What? Are there any skill checks you wanted to make? Is there any planning you need to do?
Is there any-
Could
Here
I-
in this hallway.
Could I possibly attempt to think back if I've ever read anything about this thing?
Now,
I wanna-
this would require a religion check. Now, you have advantage due to your background.
Okay.
I'd like to check for blood on the ground or anything.
Absolutely. You can see there's a bunch of Bestellus's blood here, but you're looking for its blood.
A trail of blood leading out.
That's going to be a survival check.
Okay.
23.
On fire.
You
I
think
know.
this is pretty good. This is just shy of 2 successes.
1 success. I don't have
Is there
proficiency.
specific sort of information you're interested in before I just start guessing what I'm interested in? Because I have a page about this.
Now I have to take that snapshot in my brain and zoom in.
Enhance. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
High resolution.
I'm gonna
Oh
pause.
yeah.
I'm gonna
Get
pause that
CIS.
later.
Zoom in.
Enhance.
So, honestly, DM, I don't even know what I want to
If you don't know, I can do what my normal spiel
do your
is.
normal spiel.
Okay. And if there's something extra you want, you can. It's very specific. You can ask me after the fact.
Okay.
Multiple limbs. That's strange. What was your survival roll?
11.
11. Black blood that quickly hisses and begins rapidly boiling as soon as it is exposed to the ground. Demon blood. Multiple limbs. Black, blue. Now, this blue, the puppeteering effect is not something you're super familiar with, but what happened to Bestellus, you distinctly remember hearing a story about. One of the ancestors of your house certainly has faced against a creature like this. You thinking about it? Wait, yes, you remember there was a Heron Smith who actually had their leg blown off by this.
Okay.
The Yottlegirt, a greater demon of the abyss. This creature.
Do you
Couple
see what this is?
Just in case there's audio only listeners, we all looked instantly stressed.
Yeah.
Now, this creature, there's a couple things you do know about it. Now, with one success, I can tell you a good bit, but not everything.
Victoria's crying.
I think we're
You
all
know
crying right now.
there's a few things. First, the Yottlegirt is a multi-limbed and multi-eyed creature, each of which comes in several varieties, though the specific distribution is relatively chaotic. Its form itself can shift, it can ebb and flow, but it's typically a medium or large-sized creature. You know, so I can tell you a little bit more about the black limbs, and I'll tell you about either its green or its red limbs.
Okay.
It has multiple options, essentially.
So I just have one, and I have a Victoria question as well.
That's absolutely fine.
Would I know that this thing is mobile and can walk and move, or that it is a stationary
Absolutely
creature?
it can.
So it would move, potentially give chase. I would like to know about the black limbs.
Sure. What I will tell you about the limbs as general first is that there are two forms of Yottlegirt. There is one that is more fixed in size, which its limbs range between 5 and 10 feet. And there is the greater Yottlegirt, which has the ability to extend its limbs considerably.
Okay.
So it's not close to you, most likely.
I have developed a plan.
The black limb it fills with this it fills it fills its prey with Icarus manifestations of negative energy. Mechanically, these deal force damage when it erupts.
Okay. So
Very dangerous.
It's like a pimple.
I will also let you know, because you asked for black limbs, what does black eyes
Very
do?
dangerous.
okay.
It allows these eyes signify doom and are a dark portent. It allows them to cast the spell Immolation.
Okay. So here's what we do.
Okay.
May I give that one last piece of information?
Okay.
Yottlegirts are notoriously difficult to kill.
Right.
You're welcome.
So what you do is you get the forge out. We got to get the forge out, get all the supplies out of the satchel, and we need to start setting up. And then what I'm going to do, and I'm going to say, Thorn, help me pass the message around.
Okay.
You hear off in the distance, just this little giggling laughter from one direction
When
and then another.
when Ismini says it, I repeat it.
Perfect. Passing this around to the whole party.
Right. I'm going to cast Magic Circle, and it's something that can either keep fiends or undead or anything out or in. We need to get it into the circle. The circle's gonna last for like an hour. How long does it last? The circle lasts for, hang on, I actually have something here. I got this spell. It lasts for an hour, but the casting time is a minute. So we need to get this thing to come into the area where I'm casting the spell, and then we can trap it inside of it, and then try to complete the ritual to send it away.
Is me.
It sounds like we may need to go to it, not have it.
Well, we need some kind of other, like something in between, because we will die if we try to fight it for a full minute straight.
Wait. What do you need forged?
We need to do the ritual to banish the monster.
Okay, so we need
And I
to
don't have
entice it here.
If we could get it here into the circle, because it's going to take, like I said, a minute for me to cast a spell to create the circle to trap it.
Do we know how intelligent this
If
creature
anyone
is?
wants to be bait, I can help protect you against it.
On the note, how do you bait a demon like this?
I don't know.
Ismini?
Be easy to corrupt. Who's the most corruptible here?
Gwynwyn, are you holding any objects in your hand?
My spellcasting focus, yeah.
Make me a strength saving throw.
Oh no.
Now, because of you're well lit and all of you are here, I'm going to actually give you advantage on this save. I do not know what you rolled beforehand. Because you are aware of this. It does not have the element of surprise from before.
An 8.
This creature, this is a green limb, reaches up, grabs you by the hand. Silas, you watch as she's fully dragged about 2 feet away for the hand. It pulls off her hand. The hand of the creature pulls back in the darkness. Gwynwyn, your hand is empty.
Do we have a...
Imagine being so
Okay,
weak you can't
we
fight
head
us
that
head
way.
on.
We head that way. I have a casting. The range is 10 feet out, so I'm gonna have to be close to it. But if I can live
go.
for
Oh
full
my
60
God.
seconds,
Let's go.
then I can trap it, and then we can try to get rid of it.
Do you
I
want
put
to
my
be
hand on
60
your
seconds?
shoulder and I cast protection from evil and good.
Oh my god!
And let's go.
Okay, let's go.
I'm
Do you
a
want to
little
be
worried.
invisible?
No,
You're
since I'm
casting a
casting
spell.
it breaks.
Okay, I didn't know if
Or
it
if
works
you
with
cast
ritual
it, right,
spells.
so-
If it's the whole ritual spell?
I would.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this one before.
Okay.
There are some ambiguities and there's some discussion. I believe it makes more sense for it to the effect of invisibility to end if you begin casting a long spell.
I
Okay.
have
At the end of the first 6 seconds, though.
I have had so many ideas about how I would face this exact situation, and I finally
Why have you
can't.
planned for Yottlegirts?
Don't you?
Why
Always
hasn't
That's
plan
how I
ahead.
wake up in
Always
the morning.
plan for Yottlegird.
Okay, well, I feel attacked.
No, always plan for some kind of demon or something to come up out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
This is
and
a
ruin your day.
greater demon.
Greater
Yeah.
demon. Oh my
Yeah, it
gosh, my
is.
family will be so proud of me
If you make it through this.
if I live.
Protection.
If not, it's locked up for an hour.
We'll talk about for a bit. So as you're heading out there, Gwynwen, you do have a regular spellcasting focus.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving you. You can't cast spells.
I'm just sad now. It was a gift
As
from my
you're heading
teacher.
through here, my question is this: are you trying to the magic circle spell? Is not something you're going to be able to start.
When move with, I'm gonna have to be near it.
So you can I'll let you prepare a good chunk of it, but the last you know what? Make me an Arcana check. We'll determine how much of this I'll let you cast while moving. Normally I wouldn't allow any of this, but this is a very particular Callister thing.
17.
A 17. I'm going to let you do. So it's normally 10 rounds.
Yeah. 10 rounds.
I'm gonna let you use 6 of those rounds.
Okay.
6 of those rounds can be done while moving.
Okay. Okay. This is what I was trained for. This is what I was born for. This is literally the goal of my
Is
life.
this a ritual spell?
No, it's a 10-minute casting time.
Okay, so you have it prepared?
Yeah, I have it
Okay.
prepared. I prepared the spell.
I love it.
Good wizard.
I prepared for the evil necromancer.
Okay.
I did plan for this.
As you all now, are we all? So you cast those buff spells. That first round has occurred.
So I'm over
Okay.
here. I'm tossing out silver and holy water and all sorts of stuff. Like I'm gonna have to spend.
I'm gonna touch his hammer and cast magic weapon on it.
Ooh!
Woof.
You imbue this hammer with magic because remember, it's not a +1 weapon until now. It is. The weapon itself, the light doesn't get a wider radius, but it does get a little bit brighter. It's not quite it's not a literal sun blade.
Don't worry.
One to hit and one to damage.
Yep.
Yes, and it's also magical, which Ismini could have confirmed for you. It would have resisted non-magical weapons.
I
So,
assume demons
fantastic.
resist
Greater
non-magical-
demons probably
magical,
resist
just-
magic, non-magical weapons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Martyr's Limit count as magical weapon.
It's a +1 weapon. So
Okay.
yes.
It's a radiant.
You also, as a reminder, if we needed one, Gwynwen also has the +1 sickle, the green thumb.
Yes.
As you all
been a
continue
while.
moving through, making your way through this, through the caverns here, you begin passing over the bodies of more and more of these lizard folk. Some of them have been, have had, you can see it looks like some of them have that similar explosive wound you've seen before. Others of them have been crushed, attacked by some sort of blunt force. One of them you see is dented into the stone to the side, capping off towards the side of the sewers. As you begin ascending, you begin hearing, and I believe as Mani you speak this, just abyssal chants that are just, yes, come to me. I must feed on your pitiful flesh.
Hey Silas,
Casting spell.
you wanna entice the being to fight with us?
I'm just gonna be saying some prayers at this point. Hopefully.
Oh, I'm
that's
I'm
enticing.
shouting back as much as I can.
Are you yelling?
Yeah.
As you're marching through here, singing out in Elvish this prayer of binding.
Yeah, it's verbal component.
Nice.
There's no material component to this? Is there?
Oh no, it's a 100 gold material component.
Perfect. Is powdered silver?
Powdered silver.
Powdered silver. Okay. We've talked about you having that previously in the past, but you do have additional.
Yeah.
You picked it up.
I literally am planning for this kind of thing.
We literally picked it off a dead body like 20
Yeah.
minutes ago.
We got what we needed.
In the head too.
Sorry about the
As
spell.
you are heading up past 5, 10, 15 of these lizard folk have been defeated presumably by this creature. Begins to widen up the space that you're in. We still have dancing lights above us?
No, because I'm concentrating on.
I'll cast the light cantrip.
Yeah. Yes. Your weapon begins glowing. Your sword is still in the dimmest setting, unless you'd
Yeah.
like to have changed that as you're going up further.
Oh, we're not sneaky. We can.
Do you want to have ignited it to its full brightness? By the point it reaches full brightness, you can barely see the metal below, the illusory metallic sword. Here, it is just radiant light rippling, barely able to be contained within that small blade-like silhouette. It's 60 total feet of sunlight, half of which is bright. As you are charging up here, heading up into this wider clearing, you see prancing around the outside of the light, ever retreating, some of those blue hands from before, just dancing, skipping around. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna reroll that other 3. Oh my gosh. Okay, Silas. I just rolled 5 3s in a row.
The dice said, Gwynwyn.
I'm gonna die. That's
Okay.
what the dice said.
Emerging from this, again, you guys are now aware of this. The mechanics are a little bit easier for you. As you all are beginning to move up through this, I'm going to need a wisdom saving throw from Gwynwyn. And Silas, I'm going to make a really quick attack roll as this red limb with this big bulbous giant or maybe ogre, like an ogre-like fist. It's not proportioned like a human would be. That is going to be an 18 to hit.
That does hit. Unfortunately, I need a shield again.
You're going to take 23 points of bludgeoning damage as this red fist emerges from the darkness, strikes you, but as it's recoiling, it's much slower than the other limbs as it's pulling back. As if it's got more muscles to throw forward, but it's slower on this retreat. The wisdom saving throw?
8.
Once more, one of these blue apparitions arrives. Oh, it's my Coco!
Do we see this?
Huh?
Did we-
All of you are present. You're advancing forward.
Can I shoot at it? Can I do the...
Yes,
Eldritch
all of you
Blast?
have the opportunity to
We
make
have
attacks.
reactions?
Absolutely.
I would like to use my reaction.
Ooh. Okay.
Do you want to go first?
I'm just Eldritch Blasting.
Yeah, make your attack roll.
Yeah, I'm Danny.
Shooting at this red arm. Red arm is the easiest to hit here.
Yeah, I'm Danny DeVito right now. Just blasting.
I'm going to use the reply to...
You were not hit
I
by
was
an
not
attack.
damaged. Actually, I don't have a reaction.
You don't have a reaction. You also cannot
My
use your
two-
new feature, which we'll
My,
talk about.
both of my reactions require...
Now, would this count as a creature leaving my area?
Oh, absolutely.
I'll take a swing at it then.
What was your to hit?
I have a 19 and a 17 to hit.
One hit.
One hit. Cool.
I think I might have gotten a hit too.
Yeah,
What's a 27 get me?
that's got you a hit.
And I think it was critical.
Yep. That's
Oh, it was a critical hit?
It's a
It was a
A
critical hit.
natural 20. Go ahead and roll me that damage. Are you going to use one of your maneuvers for this? You don't have to.
Is this a round?
I don't have a good
Yes.
maneuver to add anything for this.
Victoria,
We're on round 4.
we're on round 4.
Oh, wait, this is an actual action.
Yeah.
If you find a dice under you, let me
All of it. We're not in an initiative. We're not in a battle map because it's very simple. All of you are acting in your own order here. It's a little bit more freeform here, as it
Okay.
isn't a normal challenge. You're not in front of the primary form of the creature itself. Okay.
I know what. While he's doing that, I'm going to ignite my weapon as a bonus action.
Sure. With your weapon burst.
Yes, I'm going to ignite it with lightning damage.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attacks. As you begin charging forwards, you begin seeing other limbs kind of retreating in the light. There are 4, 5, 7 of them. As you're moving through here, is Meanie kind of catching this a little bit more startled as there's more limbs than a average specimen as you're going through here. Go ahead and do that to hit roll, Jake.
Before she rolls, with the crusher feet, since she's hitting after me, she does have advantage on it.
Okay.
I'm
Is
gonna
on
reroll.
all attacks or the next attack?
Until my next turn.
I need to re-roll.
You need to roll one more, which would
Two more,
roll one more
technically.
die, which would determine the first roll result.
Okay.
Do you have open accuracy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I take 2 attacks per turn.
Did,
So I'm gonna roll. Okay.
I got 6 points of force damage.
6 points
I rolled a
of
1.
That would
Math
be
20s. That's gonna hit.
12 damage for me, by the way.
I'm tracking all this damage.
Is this
That
undead?
magical. It's not an undead creature.
That's fine. That's fine.
Just bullshit.
Do you need lightning damage?
I
Is that
do
right?
because it's resistant to lightning damage.
Lightning. 4. Half to 2. Plus 10 to these. 17 points of radiant damage.
Okay, striking up against all of these. Pretty sure your effect is going to be broken at the end of your turn. However, Gwynwyn, this creature, once more, this manifestation appears. It's oh so very real. And looking at this, it's Chester. He's back. He looks horrified. Coming out, it looks like one of his limbs is fully missing as he steps out from the darkness, horrified. Gwynwyn, they're coming! Gwynwyn, they're coming!
Where's Adan? Where's Adan?
As he turns back looking, brandishing a short sword. I'm gonna make one real quick attack at you. You watch as this Muppet, this meat puppet, which is not what the Muppet stands for. Don't hit that.
You ruined all of Jim.
Yes. No. But you watch as this
Not
creature.
bad for an amphibian.
Now you guys don't actually see a weapon in the hand of this creature, but actually it looks like the pinky of this blue hand fully tries to stab Gwynwyn.
I can't do anything.
It's a 14.
Miss.
As it tries to strike you, the illusion is dispelled by the rest of your party, and also by you trying to take these damage. The charm effect as well, breaking once more, as it begins retreating even further into the darkness.
Oh, I hate you.
I'm full speed ahead at this thing.
Full speed ahead as we
I
continue.
gotta get close to it.
Yes. As we continue along your way. Okay. During the next round, no more of these arms approach, continuing to retreat back to its own form. Are there any preparatory spells?
Does it leave our spaces as it retreats?
Eldritch Blast.
Sure, you can make an attack. You can make. I'll give you an AOO. That's fine.
You said it's going back into the darkness. How far away is that darkness?
Ew. That means I can make an attack with advantage.
Why?
I cannot, actually. It's reaction with advantage. I haven't been damaged. It's
I
okay, I
haven't
can just make
hit
an
you.
AOO. So I can just do this. New abilities. 24.
24 is a hit. Go ahead and roll that damage. I'm tracking all of this damage.
You said it's retreating back
It
into the darkness.
has been Silas's turn.
Can you give me how far the darkness is?
So the darkness itself is 60 feet.
I'm gonna say a different command word and cast the daylight spell using my weapon. Driftglobe has daylight as well.
How large is daylight? Can you check for me?
60 and then 60 dim light.
Oh my god, I have such excellent news. As you begin igniting, your blade matching the resplendence of even the martyr's lament, as sunlight fills the halls, opening up. Couple things. As you look forward, more bodies here. Additionally, some robed figures have been slain nearby. And about 100 feet from where the party currently stands is a massive amalgamation of limbs. Its form itself, it has this rippled appearance, like black ink that has been black paint that has been splashed somewhere, but frozen. The wave itself over its skin, like these different strange, chaotic protrusions. Not scales, but it's certainly not smooth anywhere on its skin. Additionally, coming off of this Yottlegirt look to be 9 limbs. Additionally, looking at what you would call its face, there's no head, but there is certainly a collection of eyeballs near the top of its torso, where its shoulders begin protruding out of its torso, are a collection of 6 eyes. This horrifying creature. Victoria, add 2 to that tracker. So
Add
we should
2?
be at 7.
We're at 7, and
Yes.
I'm 100 feet away.
We're 100 feet away.
So that's 30.
1 point of lightning. 9 points of radiant.
Okay. As you've been striking against this, it does not appear terribly wounded. As the light appears, though, however, it recoils. This hissing, spitting creature. No clear location as to where its mouth is at first until it begins to speak, and you watch its torso gyrate and mold around the words itself as its very body is chewing on the concept of basic communication. You have brought light here. All the better to see your demise.
So
Did you say that in common?
That's an abyssal.
Is that
This is that amazing.
Is it
What you hear is Nishkna, Nishkna.
I'm gonna try and imitate it. Nishkan ba bum bum bum.
I love that song.
Victoria, you had some ideas?
round 7? Is
Round
it
7.
100 feet away at the beginning or end of 7?
Beginning.
Okay, cool. Then I have 2 rounds. Okay.
You're fine?
I thought it was at the end. I'm like, I'm gonna get just there if I do not slow down.
Okay. Also, you have friends.
I just need to get there. Just run me over.
Do you want to pick her up and run for your turn?
I'm gonna actually do what I can to body block. I'm gonna bait and switch and give her my AC.
Great. Go ahead and roll that. As Silas stands in front of you as the 2 of you advance, putting his huge form there. This is a huge-sized Yottlegirt. It stands about 12 to 14 feet tall. Looking at it, these massive limbs coming off the side, you realize, oh no. With that check from before, I would say, Ismini, you may be cautious of your ability to slay such a creature.
Right, no, we're not slaying, we're binding.
The damage you've done, you're not sure if it is persistent past its passive regeneration.
Right.
You have +8 to your AC.
Oh
my god.
Oh my gosh.
Try not to get hit.
As you're advancing, now your action is casting the spell on each
right,
of these turns.
I'm just
But
thinking
as you
every
continue,
movement.
it's meaning moving through here, all of these limbs begin rearing up, some of them stretching off. It looks like these limbs, though, however, have multiple of these joints. So some of them double, triple, quadruple of these joints, and it looks like they're emanating further and further as it stretches. The muscle fibers become thinner and thinner as it becomes these long, thin, gangly arms emanating out from the Yottlegirt. Last time I had the Yottlegirt go first. All of you may act however you'd like. Now, you're protecting Ismini.
Mm-hmm.
You are casting your spell. I don't got anything particular for me.
Nope, just Eldritch Blast, and when it's my turn, I'm going to Quicken Spell and cast it again.
All right, you're spending that points to fire 4 bolts of force here. As you're charging into the room, Silas at the lead with his daylight spell active. You see at the far side, non-matching brick has formed a wall perpendicular to the wall you've been previously following, with a small staircase leading upwards.
We found where we were supposed to go, at least.
Someone has been sitting on top of the entrance to some sort of underground lair hidden in the walls of Eltz.
Dang it. That's what I wanted to build.
Well, it might be free real estate in a few
Free-
sessions.
All right. So can I have those 4 attack? I'll tell you this. It's AC 18.
Okay.
Okay.
I have 2 hits, it looks like.
Okay. As you strike with the force damage is entirely effective. I'll just let you know it's not resistant to force damage.
I'm gonna look up how to get resistance to force damage.
It's very hard.
I'm thinking of these hands
25.
like Persona 4 hand monsters.
25 points of damage. It is, if you've played Ocarina of Time
Yeah.
or Wind Waker, it's
Well,
much more like the Wind Waker arm.
It's like this blue hand
4.
monster in 4.
Yeah, where it stands like this. I know
And
which
it's
one
They're
you're
going
big
around.
hands. The
Good
red
exhaust.
Crusher hand could easily contain Silas and close its fingers around him. Now, you could see Silas. It would hold Silas like you'd hold like your fingers like this.
Okay.
So you are grappleable by this creature.
It's good to know.
All right, Gwyn, what are you doing?
I'm gonna cast Ray of Sickness at it.
It's poison damage?
Poison damage.
There is no effect as you cast this spell. Striking against its body. A series of these horrible curses at the tiny little dwarf and how he's excited to suck the flesh off of every bone in your body.
I don't translate that bit.
I've seen other people attack this creature.
I'm connected with you. I
I've
heard
seen
what you
poison
thought.
damage do nothing.
It was
I've
just
seen
like a
fire damage do nothing. I've seen my lightning damage do little. Did the necrotic damage that I've seen multiple people do look
Necrotic damage is
effective?
absolutely normal. To clarify, you've seen that lightning does half, and you've seen that fire does half.
and then
It's immune
acid
to
has
poison.
been poison. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Force works really well.
Force works just fine.
I don't have a ton of force. Really any. I didn't prepare that spell. I'm going
I need
to.
a charisma saving throw from Silas as Colossus determine what they're doing.
I know I know what I'm doing.
I
I'm
probably have
doing a
plus
spell
one.
strike, so I'm going to swing at it, but I'm going to imbue a spell into my sword. Inflict wounds at 2nd level.
All right. Charging up now. So
So first I need to roll to hit.
right. Do you have the ability to dash as a bonus action? Because you'll need to move 100 feet this turn to get to it.
Oh, I thought it was near a tentacle.
You're not. That was
Okay.
you got your AOO last turn.
Then I'll have to dash as an action.
Okay.
And I can't do anything this turn.
I wasn't sure if you were casting a ranged spell. You can still imbue as your bonus action if you'd like. You'll be concentrating on that effect for next turn.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dashing as an action, you begin charging forwards. Gwynwyn, that was you. Ray of Sickness. Charisma saving throw from Silas. As you watch, as there's a flash from one of its eyes, a green eye.
What's an 18 get me?
An 18 gets you the following. For a brief moment, your hammer jerks forward, and you watch as your hands briefly pass through it. You reach forward, grasp it again, and as it does, you feel the weapon bonded to you as the weapon is not banished. Additionally, I am going to need... I'm going to use your spell. One of its blue eyes are going to flash, and I'm going to begin casting a spell.
I've lost the AC buff now.
It's not until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
This was my turn.
Yes.
Because it's not next.
So heading over, it's going to begin casting a very familiar spell. It's going to shoot Eldritch Blast. I'm going to split them, one for Gwynwyn, one for Ililie. Gwynwyn, it's a nat... Look at this. Connor, am I crazy? That is 2 natural ones.
Buddy, you're going to win.
As it fires, these green bolts emerge, and you feel a weird pull in the pit of your stomach as it draws upon similar magics to you, but it's almost like it's rejected as the 2 bolts dissipate as they fire towards some of your companions as the spell fails.
As I keep running along with everybody, can I just say some like regular word?
You are able to keep it relatively brief.
Okay. If I die, I have 2 scrolls to speak with dead to bind it. Talk to me. I'm just running at it.
All right, begin charging up. That's going to be round 8. That was my action. I used 2 of my eyes.
I'm keeping right up with Ismini.
I'm doing the exact same thing, whatever I can do to shield her.
Okay. You're going to use that ability again, you said? Mm-hmm. Now, did you want to are you trying to cover her?
Yeah, just try to get in the way. Keep it away from Ismini.
Standing here, readying things up as you can. This is horrifying. This creature, as you're approaching, it's almost like it's... the flesh as it's laughing, groaning, gurgling, coughing, it begins to rise up almost as if it's getting larger and larger as you get closer.
What's its base size?
3 by 3.
You get 3 to your...
You're aware that with how the spell works and the fact that squeezing exists, all creatures are able to occupy a space one size lower.
Oh, it's a radius of 10 foot, so it's 20 feet.
Yeah.
So it can fit.
But also, you can. So everyone can fit into a space that's half their size. It's called squeezing.
So yeah, so it would fit because that's
Yes.
20 foot. It's a 15 foot.
This
Okay.
is so terrifying.
Oh my gosh.
We're on round 9, I believe, mechanically.
Yes.
All right. As we charge up closer.
No, we're on round 8.
So.
Or unless we just finish this round.
Just finish round 8.
Okay, so we're going into round 9.
Going into round 9.
So I'm gonna be next to it now.
Yes.
At,
If you'd like to be, you can.
I have to be
as
within-
you begin running around it.
I had to be 10 feet away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 10 feet away from it.
As you get closer to this creature, looking down at you, you watch as the air itself forming around it. This thick, vaporous cloud begins emerging from it.
I'm just pouring silver around it as I go.
As it begins excreting this gas, is very thick. It's almost like the air itself becoming more viscous than it should be. Those folks who are nearby become aware as they try to breathe in nearby. They're not getting anything. They're breathing in this ichor, coughing, hacking it up. I'm gonna need to know everyone's constitution modifiers.
Modifier?
Modifier.
4.
5. Gwynwyn, this won't affect you because you're staying far back and shooting.
Yeah.
You're staying up in the front.
I'm with
2. Was 1 was gonna be a problem. As you continue speaking, depleting the air in your lungs going through this, you're gonna be right on the edge of this. As you begin moving around, your friend's protecting you. That's going to be 2 swings from red arms, and it's also going to be... Let's make a pilferer check. Make me a strength saving throw with advantage, Ililie.
Sure. A 20?
A 20. All right.
Nat.
That's absolutely fine. As it tries to reach out and take your weapon from you, it is unsuccessful. So mechanically, I did have to hit you first, so it did hit you with an attack roll. Just a quick reminder.
Mine things, yeah, hit with melee.
Yes, ma'am. If you'd like to use that reaction from your reply, if you'd enjoy that, you can. But
I
you
mean, I
don't
can
have
reduce. No, that's with damaged.
Oh, it's with damage.
Yeah.
You took no damage.
Yeah, and
So if
this
you
is with damage, so I can't.
Oh, anything you roll would be reduced to 0. You'd have to spend an arcane point is the only thing if you wanted to swing at it.
Sure.
Well, you swing back with its weapon, Ililie. As you strike one of these red hands that's coming towards you, you bring it back up. You watch as the arm snaps, one of the wrists of it here pulling backwards. You're gonna need some d8s. Make an attack roll.
What's its modifier?
I'm so sorry.
I need its modifier.
So it uses its strength score is +6.
Okay. So this plus 6.
How do I get that?
19.
A 19 is going to be a hit against it. Now, important thing to note, I need you to roll 6d6. Oh, I'm sorry, 68. Here's 2 of them.
Wow.
Nice.
A lot of D8s.
Right?
Does my... I have 68.
She has a D8 with this.
Does my spell strike trigger?
Is your spell strike? Of
I
course,
imbued
yes.
something in my
Absolutely.
weapon. Okay. So that's also going
Oh
to
my
be...
gosh, does your spell strike... so no, I'm actually going to say no to this because you're not hitting with the weapon that you use
Okay.
to spell strike. I
I just don't know if I would keep concentration.
You don't lose it, you're just parrying an attack. As she strikes this, snapping, using her new mage's feature, deflect strikes, the blow strikes the Yottlegirt's torso.
This is
20.
former wizard dice.
27.
27. All that damage seems to go through. It does appear it has the magic weapon trait. As you strike against it with its own hand, going up.
Got lots of D8s.
Laurentius, 16. Silas, natural 1.
Are those to hit?
These are to hits.
I'm gonna cast shield.
Casting shield. These are 2 more red swings at you guys. So these same fists that she just hit against the Yottlegirt, the 68s, both striking against you, not quite able to find purchase. Additionally, there's a D4 for me. Ililie, my dear friend.
Win-win.
Win-win. I'm pointing at the wrong person. Make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm using Clala's dice
As
instead.
a red eye ignites.
What?
It's not my fault.
You're catching up to the DM today.
No, it's not a
that's a
natural.
Win-win.
What is that one? I rolled
We'll talk
2.
about what happens next turn, as it cannot activate. It doesn't have an action to utilize this effect until its last turn.
I don't know if anyone's catching up to the DM.
If this is round,
We are on round 10 now.
then I can
ending
take an
this
action.
So you haven't swung your blade yet.
Yeah, I haven't.
So go ahead and make your attack rolls for me. We're doing this is very loosey-goosey.
18 and 16.
An 18 is a hit, 16 is a miss.
Totally fine.
This is going to expel your
I'll roll the
arcane
lightning
spell.
separate.
The necrotic all goes through.
8 for lightning,
Okay. Wow, nice.
and then necrotic is.
That's gross. Whenever you roll those whenever you have bonus dice and you roll them max, it feels real good.
Oh
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't get to do that.
Oh yeah.
8,
Oh, it's painful.
16, 20, 25. Oh, 30. Sorry.
30 points of damage. As you strike against this creature, genuine wounds actually starting to pop up as you're here, towards the end here. Going into this final round is Meanie Callister. Why don't you describe to me what it is you're doing as you're finishing up this ritual with Magic Circle?
I am just running now in circles. I'm pouring this powdered silver out and then going back over with holy water, like making like a wet patch of like silver into the ground while I move. And I am just chanting loudly. I've switched from Elvish to Abyssal.
Ooh, switching. Just is Meanie pushing her chin into her own neck, getting those real guttural, slurpy sounds of Abyssal.
It's my Valley Girl Abyssal time.
Valley Girl Abyssal. As you begin rushing around this creature, it reaches up. It's unable to attempt to leave its space, is that correct?
Okay, so here's the thing. You can reverse the effects of the spell. So you can reverse, normally it's protection from the inside, but you can also say it's the reverse.
So you can draw a circle around.
Draw a circle. And
I'm familiar with what you're trying to do.
You don't let you cause this magic to operate in the reverse direction, preventing a creature of the specified type from leaving the cylinder and protecting targets
If I had a
outside.
sword, like a long sword, I could swing a sword through it.
Cannot willingly exit. Disadvantage on attack rolls against people on the outside.
Okay.
Targets on the outside cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed by the creature.
Hell yeah.
It's a
I have a
whole thing.
charm, a frighten, and, well,
Possess?
I'm sorry, I can't possess people.
You cannot possess people.
When the effect stops working.
Oh my god.
So,
So that is explicitly what this does. Cannot leave.
Nice.
Go ahead and pass this bicycle down there.
Yeah.
It's Meanie Callister. As you charge up this powerful demon from the depths of the abyss. As the spell is complete, beginning to backpedal out of the reach of its arms. Kind of as you watch as it pounds against them, brief flashes of light as it strikes the outside of the circle appears to be holding. Dwing, dwing.
If it can teleport or do interplanar travel, it may attempt to with a saving throw.
How long does this last?
An hour.
So should we leave?
We should try to.
We should run.
We should either try to get past it or we should try to get rid of it.
How?
Her other spell.
We have
The
the
banishing.
kill. We took
Yeah, I don't
kill.
have a spell
Which
for
one?
that.
Orange one?
Oh god.
Another nat one?
No.
Yeah.
The natural.
What? I thought it was 20.
Wow.
I'm like, oh no, all this effort.
Has anyone rolled a nat 20?
I've rolled one.
You've rolled
I'm a
one.
7.
Wait, I
You're
rolled
8.
one.
I'm an 8.
Hey, I had a night like that.
One sec. I'm sorry.
We've
But
had many.
He's rolled the natural 20, and she's rolled 1.
Only you two.
Yeah.
I kissed it. We're fine now. We're good.
We're back on good terms.
Yeah. The Yottlegirt itself, you watch as it begins casting a spell, this massive, powerful form of conjuration, and as it attempts to pull itself to the abyss, it finds itself temporarily locked within this magic circle. It turns and gazes at this wizard. You believe you can hold me here with your paltry tricks? This bit of silver will do nothing to contain me.
Can I'm literally just waving my hand to dismiss him, and I'm now trying to think back. And is it possible at my current ability level to do anything ritualistically to get rid of it, or am I just gonna have to move
It would
past it?
take you so much time. It would
Then we're
take you
just-
15 minutes to 45 minutes.
Then we're just going up
All right, yeah.
What?
past it.
Up the stairs.
There's stairs.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if we can get rid of it. Can we try to?
15. I said 15 minutes to 45 minutes.
Oh, okay, then we can. We can get rid of it.
What I'm hearing is
What you're talking about is essentially,
rest.
yeah. It's
I will work through
Exercising
the short
the-
rest. You guys can do your thing.
you may want help from at least one party for this if
Well,
someone is
I'm
willing
help.
to do.
Are you good?
The-
Are you healthy?
Yeah, I didn't take any damage. I just
I
kept
also
being
have
mind
no
controlled.
short rest abilities if you need an extra arcane hand.
Yeah. That's 2 arcane casters that are willing to help me.
Yeah.
As it's sitting here,
You need to rest because you got hit.
Well, I
about-
also can't help.
Magic
you also get all your spell slots back.
Yeah.
Most of them, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you're
You're not
the
a
warlock ones.
caster. And
As
you need to
you're-
rest and heal.
As you're here, Ismini, I want you to describe what sort of ritual that you do. Tell me what the Callisters do to these folks.
So many children have these memories of baking bread with their mothers or their grandmothers, and they have these, like, you bake cookies, you decorate them for different festivals, you lay out plates and trays, and you have these grand feasts. My memories that involve something akin to baking are these memories of binding smaller and lesser little imps and demons and things. Like, I was taught basically how you teach a kid to roll out dough. You are teaching a kid to, okay, here's the reagents you need to crush, and here's what you need to combine with them.
So what I need to know about this ritual is as follows. So you have clay that you can form into a sphere that you need
Yes.
to then
I don't-
melt silver around.
Okay.
There are 2 ways to do this. Do you have an existing binding catalyst you would like to put inside of this orb? If you have some sort of binding agent, if you have any sort of magical material you'd like to use, that will make it as easier.
I have powdered gold, which I know appears in some rituals, but it's not. I don't have anything in.
Is silver particularly effective?
Silver is what you. The orb is going to be made of silver and filled with hardened
Right.
clay.
I mean, I can just use my silver.
Right, you have the silver. I was asking if you have any sort of totem you're putting inside of the clay to
I'm gonna
enhance this
hate
ritual.
myself for this. Would this help any? I start handing her my silver paper.
Oh my god!
I don't want
the
to get rid of
silver?
it.
It is a scale from the matron of the Runic Knights, Gwentir.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know, Matt. So dragon scales are quite powerful in terms of magic.
Right.
magic
I'm looking
components.
at. I'm looking at what I have.
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
We could put
Natural 20 for a 28.
Realistically, there are 2 sorts of options. One, you could potentially attempt to use get Lilier's help to attempt to put some of your blood into this, as you are a Callister and your entire bloodline is in particular about this. Though you're not blood mages, you have a summer bloodsmith.
Blood.
Additionally, on your neck is one of these catalysts.
then I have to destroy my squawk.
Yes. What you would be doing would be using Squawk to bind this creature into this orb.
Can I just do a little bit of bloodletting on both me and Elle?
Take what you need.
Elle's a
That was
magical creature, and I'm, you know.
Do you need
Challenger.
a silver dagger to do it?
I mean,
You have bound me, mage. Do you wish for more power? That is something I can offer to you. You look like you hunger for it.
your power is weak in comparison to mine. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just.
You child. I command countless armies in the abyss.
Shink. Let's drip.
Oh my god. Drip, drip. So you...
Chili sauce.
Yeah.
It's like
As the two of
lasagna
you,
soup.
you slice your hands as this magical ritual, this blood magic begins. You infuse this into this hardened clay. As you're firing up the kiln, Gwynwyn using your magical flames here,
Would demon blood help? Because I have a vial apparently of demon blood.
likely would have the opposite sort
Yeah.
of effect.
Okay.
Unsealed demonic components would make it easier for it to escape.
Yeah, if we had something the opposite, like celestial.
I've been playing too much
blood,
Pokemon Legends.
Troll blood?
You're making a Pokeball, just to clarify.
No, that's exactly what the Calisters do.
That's what the
Yeah.
Calisters
Do you
do.
need troll blood?
Yeah, we bind and trap things in
we get to throw it
spheres.
later.
Mine has got to be old.
But as
Save
you
it for later.
Effective.
As you begin, you take a
Don't
bit
eat
of,
Have to.
infusing a bit of your blood here within this sphere. Gwynwyn using Firebolt and your various bits of magic to begin heating up this kiln as hot as you can to begin melting powdered silver. You do have you did carry some of the silver ingots you talked about potentially in that bag of holding if you'd like to actually try to melt down a portion of that.
Yes.
Taking a bit of time, begin to melt these things down. I'm gonna need a check from each of you. Here's what this is. So this is going to be, for you, this is going to be a spellcasting ability check, so it's your intelligence.
Okay.
For you, this is a blacksmith tools check. This uses intelligence.
I'm not proficient.
I know, but you have to, so it's going to be, you have access to the tools, so it's just
Can I
an
have
intelligence check.
Quinwyn re-roll that?
When can re-roll that. Additionally, for you, in finality, it's going to be your arcana.
Cocked, dang it.
Now, you do have advantage on this because you have the help from your friends here. There's a couple components in this process. Skill challenge has a pretty. I'm gonna go in the order. First, the housing, a simple silver sphere. Nothing too complex of it itself.
23.
With a 23, the housing is formed around this hardened clay, heated up by these magical flames, never a natural flame, as well as now the catalyst, the blood of a summer elf and her protector. What was your result, Lily?
Not proficient, so 14.
14. As you've molded this clay into the bases, forming it with a soft hammer, tapping around, closing it, is Meanie clutching it, burning her skin as it cools. It's cooled a bit. You've been able to quench it somewhat, but as you begin burning, etching in with the tip of your wand a series of runes on the outside. What is your result?
23.
23. Taking this, you begin walking closer to this Yottlegirt. I would like you to tell me how the Yottlegirt becomes infused within the center of this containment sphere.
So all of my magic has been like silvery kind of gray ash and silver magic, and I'm just imagining like these swirls on the outside, kind of like condensing it further in while it's inside of this magic circle.
So the magic circle is also
like,
shrinking?
Kinda like siphon it in. Kind of, you know, we've all played Pokemon. But
Oh, yeah.
But I really don't know what else to say other than I'm just imagining a lot of wispies.
He'd be a dark
like a
type.
ton of wispies, kind of pushing it in.
As these
Condenses into a ball of energy and then goes
Shoot.
into it.
Yeah.
Like a firework?
I'm
No.
trying to do like a nicer explanation of Pokemon. I don't know what else to
Shoots a
say.
firework.
these pulses of silver white light condensing inward, shrinking. It screams and howls. Its fingers rubbing against this invisible force field of light from the magic circle. You watch as some of the fingers shatter on the very force as it strikes down, furious. I will end you. This fury of this creature as it shrinks more and more, the light becoming blinding. In this moment, you're standing there, palm outstretched, the orb itself hovering in front of you, and for a brief moment you see the reflection of your mother, your grandmother, her father, the Calisters of your line, each binding demons. And in this moment, against a greater Yottlegirt, the light dissipates, and an orb, briefly levitating, falls back into your palm. It's warm, but you feel the fury as it vibrates ever so slightly from within, of the visage of a 9-limbed creature etched in by wand tip. And this cavern, this hallway is calm. The entrance to Zerathal's lair is before you.
I'm gonna take my short rest.
Holy shit!
Right.
You did it!
Good job!
I carried around all this crap.
Yes,
so
Gwyn.
long.
Do I see my stirring rod on the
Your stirring rod fully is on the ground in the middle of this. It is plopped on the ground. It was not phased
You
away.
did
It was
it.
literally the green arm was the pilferer.
So is Meanie, is that stable? Do we need to...
I will eventually take it back to my family tomb, but for now,
Are we going back?
eventually. But for now, he can't really hurt anybody from my pocket.
It can be used as a spellcasting focus
Okay.
by wizards, sorcerers, and warlocks.
You're gonna write a letter, aren't you?
What about a
Yeah.
sorcerer?
A swordlock, if you will.
Potentially somebody stronger than me may need to pick this thing
However,
up.
utilizing it in
Don't look at me.
it would be hard to use.
I'm not going to use it for anything. I'm just going to write down Callister Orb with Yottlegirt and be very confused by that forever. Oh, I need to
Great.
really...
It is specifically a greater Yottlegirt.
Yeah.
That was my
Spooky.
first orb. Yay!
I've never done
It's
that
only a great
before.
little greater
The only things you've ever
Yottlegirt.
tried were very simple tests. For example, you had to bind a very small spirit in
Yeah.
in some sort of animal matter in the past.
I skipped a couple stages.
So
It feels
what I'm
like-
hearing is
Absentmindedly
that it could've
stroking
gone
the-
horribly.
Yeah.
Orbit.
Rubbing this raven skull that has been mounted on your neck, touching the underside, the silver underneath. Bit of calm.
The other bound fiend.
The other bound fiend. Now this is something you knew.
Okay.
Squawk is technically an incredibly minor fiendish spirit.
Fair.
You are here before the lair of Zerathal. This Yottlegirt, this horrible creature, is here, now bound within the sphere. You have a few options before you. You could continue forward, enter the home of Zerathal and find whatever traps, beasts, and undead await you. Or you could run away back to your warehouse. Or perhaps somewhere in between, if you wanted to, you could attempt to leave from where you are, go and check in on your friends.
I'm going to send Squawk back. Just to, like, we're going to write a little
Yeah, we're talking
note.
about several hundred feet, and you're...
Yeah, I'm going to write a little note, send Squawk back, let them know that we took care of what hurt Vistalis, and then we're going to move forward.
waiting for Squawk.
E.
2 or 3 minutes passed.
Yeah. Great.
Lands back here once more. The response here is hurriedly written. A small imprint of a thumb soaked in blood dots the corner of the little message. It just says, "He's stable. My love, my best. Good luck to my friends." No, I just misspoke.
Is this an inspiration?
Be strong. No, it's just my die. I'm sorry.
He just rolls it.
All my best. Warm regards.
Sincerely. Thanks.
Thank you for this email.
Best.
Scene.
Scene.
Love.
Received.
So as you stand here, the Yottlegirt itself, having been compelled to, and frozen away into this in this chamber. What are your next steps, everyone?
Have you guys taken your rest and gotten your healing? Okay.
Full up.
Yes.
Then
So during this, I will give a short rest. I'm not going to be giving a short rest to you.
Right, definitely.
Additionally, I
Don't need a short rest. So.
Don't need a short rest.
They already volunteered
We
for
already
short
did.
rest.
was like, it's kind of hard retroactively, but I do think what you did would take most of your short rest.
I'm gonna use the pearl
Good.
ring to get that spell slot that I just used back. Should I use a spell slot for that last thing that I did though?
Yes. The way that spell works, any spell with a casting time above 1 action, it still uses a spell slot if it's not a ritual. But
I meant for the binding actually, not for the sealing. The binding, yes, used a spell
so the
slot.
bindings are just a Callister ritual.
So that didn't cost a spell slot. Okay, cool. So I just used the magic circle one.
However, it did take a bit of your blood.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I took
Do
damage.
take 1 point of damage each.
1 point. Do you want me to
Oh
take it
no.
from here? That doesn't make any sense. I should probably take it right.
You should take it, not your
Right.
ward.
Cool. Down to 40.
Don't you have a pearl though?
I just used the pearl. That's
We'll
why
mention.
I was
Let's not.
asking.
It's spell refueling ring. Let's not. I don't want to muddy
Right,
the water.
okay. It's a spell refueling
refuel
ring.
ring.
Oh, well, I want to
Non-pearl.
It's a big deal. This is something that
Yeah.
Gwynwyn has made and made the party stronger for.
Can
So I
you
want
make,
to keep that in there.
Yeah.
Amazing choice. I can't cast third level spells, but I think they're cool.
How
they
long
are
does
fun.
the spell Holy Weapon last? Or, sorry,
An
magic.
hour.
Okay.
Magic weapon lasts for an hour.
Unfortunately, you're gonna have. Here's what I'll say, and make sure to mark this down in your notes. You'll have this for the first about 10 to 15 minutes in there. So if you're moving fast, you might even have time to use this as an encounter. But are we advancing as we continue?
We are
Yeah.
gonna have to.
And then in that case, readying yourself to enter Zerathal's lair. Creature bound, weapon imbued with arcane might. This legendary, this incredibly rare, powerful relic of the Morning Lord. You all begin advancing up the steps as we end tonight's session. Guys, there's a whole battle map under these towels that you haven't seen.
Yeah, we didn't get there.
Yet.
I want to know Bastelis' secret.
I just
Ooh.
want to get out of this alive.
The Elven Man.
Yeah.
It was just both Chester.
Someone was crying. I'm intrigued.
Chester and Bastelis were reacting. There was a fourth vigilante at one point.
Yeah. Who totally died.
Totally died.
Totally died.
Ah.
Or worse, became a guard.
I would become a
Expelled.
guard. I would become a guard.
We're gonna talk more on footnotes, but I've been wanting to have a Yottlegirt in our campaign, and I was like, I really have to wait for them to be level 15.
Or
Without
there
looking at
could
your
just
notes.
be 5 level 6s.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here's the
That adds
thing.
up.
If you want to know mechanically, there's a couple things. It's not in its lair. It's a very big
Can,
difference.
Yeah.
can I know, like, how close we were to bloodying it at all?
It had not yet taken a quarter of its life.
Yeah.
Because it was
regenerates.
regenerating life.
Oh, okay.
You did not stop it from its regeneration.
You need some chill tanks.
Cold?
Interestingly enough, Chill Touch, super cool that works, because normally you have to find the silver bullet, but Chill Touch
What
is
about-
a silver bullet.
Because
What about,
it's necrotic damage and it
what
doesn't
about,
heal.
what about your chill touch I thought you used?
No, I cast that spell for
No.
10 rounds.
I
So-
thought you
Magic
used it in the
circle.
beginning.
She-
though.
Yeah, but it only lasts one round.
But I didn't hit with chill touch, and that was only
Oh.
one round of not
It
regeneration.
does have round-based healing.
Gotcha.
I don't want to show too much of the Yottlegirt stat block,
No,
even on footnotes, because
I
I
was just
think
curious.
we might see one more later in the campaign.
Gosh,
we
it's been
not?
a while.
It has. That is a, so the Yottlegirt is a homebrew creature that we saw very briefly in a previous campaign.
I didn't get to
Twice.
fight it last time.
We fought
We fought,
twice.
we fought a couple, yeah.
Yeah. Well, one of them
That's
you
why it's
carried
like
with
that.
you because it was locked in a weapon for a
That you
long
fed.
time.
And then it broke
So we
out.
really fought it 3 times, right? Because we fought it. No,
Well,
right?
we'll talk about that
Yeah.
on footnotes.
Yeah.
Talk about footnotes.
Anyways, this has been our
Yes.
Eltz campaign here on Stories to D4. All of you who've been here in the chat, we super appreciate it. Thank you again for your support. Those gifted subs are going to go right back into all of that goes into our channel. We love getting to get new miniatures, equipment, painting supplies to bring you some really cool adventures here in the future. Jake, you look so happy.
I know, we didn't die. I thought someone was gonna die tonight. I actually did.
Well, guys, don't worry.
Honestly, all the damage
Most
I
of the
took
things
was
that are in here are dead anyways. So this dungeon's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Undead.
Oh no.
only undead.
I'm in danger.
I feel like I'm being enticed to play a cleric.
You are.
I
All
love
right.
You know what? Times
By
like this,
Jake,
and just my
purely.
own paladin.
Well, the last thing I want to say tonight, besides goodnight, is that you all did a wonderful job. Thank you again for playing at my table. It's always a pleasure to have you here. We'll be here on Sunday for footnotes, and we'll be back here again next Friday to kick Zerathal ass.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone. Stay safe.
Good night. See you on Sunday.
Good night.